Shalom, family. Put sevens in the chat if you can hear us. Put sevens in the chat if the audio is good. Put sevens in the chat if the audio is good. Good to see everybody, man. I'm happy to see everybody, man.
Shalom, shalom. Sevens in the chat if my mic is good as well, please. Sevens in the chat if my mic is good as well.
Khan, all praises. Yes, sir. This is something I've been wanting to tackle. And this is the time that permits it. I didn't have time to really tackle this. I would have tackled it earlier, but a lot of people are asking us questions about this GodLogic situation. All right. Put sevens in the chat if you're aware. I know everybody putting sevens in the chat for the audio. Okay. Put sevens in the chat if you've seen the GodLogic debate. Okay. Put sevens in the chat if you've seen the GodLogic debate. All right. Hey, can we do me a favor? Let's close that door. The water. Okay. Put sevens in the chat if you've seen that GodLogic debate. Okay. Put sevens in the chat. Shabbat Shalom to Sister Abigail, Sister Cherish, Brother Darrell, my good brother from the Bay Area, Manawal, Sister Kim. Yes, sir. Malachi, Shalom to everybody. Sister Justice. All praises. Let me see who I missed. Sister Liz, Ashar Wawak, Shalom, my big brother. All right, all praises. All right, all praises. Okay, so Manawal said he's aware. Okay, yeah. So it was a debate or whatever, or what have you, with GodLogic, who is a Christian apologist. We're going to talk about him for a little bit. Okay, and he had a debate. We're not going to watch the debate. I think it's redundant. A lot of camps already did their, whole critique on the actual debate. So we're not going to do that. We're going to take a little different approach, but we are going to talk about Deuteronomy 29:11. Because I definitely believe that it's something that we should actually talk about. Okay. But put sevens in the chat, man. If you became a Christian after that debate, if you've seen it. No. Put sixes in the chat. If you didn't, if you still an Israelite, put sevens in the chat. If you a Christian now, put sixes in the chat. If you turn into a Christian, put sixes in the chat after that debate. If you're still an Israelite and a commandment keeper, and you believe in the faith of Christ and the law, put sevens in the chat, man. All right, I want to get the chat involved today. Okay. All right. Good. Everybody still Israelites? Absolutely. Sister Leah said, absolutely not. All praises. I like to hear that. Sister Dana said, didn't see any debate. That's all right. It's good. It's good. All right, all praises. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, man. First and foremost, I want to say this. I was letting everybody kind of get in there. First and foremost, I want to say this. I've been in the truth for a while. All praises to the Most High God. I've been in the truth for a while. It's going on, I believe, 15 years now, right? Been in the truth for a while. This is nothing new, okay? This is nothing new. For the people that are watching now, for the people that are going to come on now, this is nothing new. You're going to have these doctrines or these people that fight against truth. They're going to come around every so often. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. Back in like 2000. Well, when I got into truth in 2011, we were slaughtering Christians. We were slaughtering Christians. I mean, it wasn't even a contest. Back when I was getting in the truth, and the elders, they were slaughtering Christians way before me, but I'm just speaking from my perspective. We were slaughtering Christians. I mean, left and right. It was no Christian that could stand against us. I actually was in the Christian church, and I actually like the fact that I was in a Christian church because I've dealt with people like this. I've dealt with people like GodLogic. I've dealt with people like these Christian apologists. And I'm going to tell you something, that the only thing that they really trained for was Muslims. Okay, this is a fact. When I was in the church back in early 2000s and stuff like that, or mid 2000s, like 2009, 2008, 2010, and all of that, the main thing that they would train for was Muslims. So when the Hebrew Israelites that been around way before I got in the truth, But when they really hit the internet hard, like YouTube days or whatever the case may be, no one had really seen or understood the Israelite doctrine. All right. Nobody had really seen or understood the Israelite doctrine. So Christians was getting smacked. You know what I mean? They was getting smacked. All right. And I believe like around probably from like 2000 and like 13, 14, around there, that's when you got your emergence of the conscious community. And we was going at the conscious community very, very hard. All right. We were going against the conscious community very, very hard. That's when you see the debates with Polite and Priest Daniel Allah. You see the debates with Shaka Utmost and General Hashar and all of these heavy hitters in the community. And that's when the conscious community was like really the biggest threat that we had, like around like 2014 to like 2016 and stuff like that, right? They were like the biggest because they knew like history. They knew the history, and they actually were studied, and they actually were dealing with us for a while. Like the conscious community was dealing with us back in Harlem and all of that in New York. You know, they been had relationships with each other and stuff like that. It just got brought to the internet. So our biggest opponent in those times were the conscious community. And at that time, Polite was leading the charge. You know what I mean? So you had that. I remember when Polite his first video debating the Hebrew Israelites, and they got the same way GodLogic presumably did. Polite did that to two Israelite brothers. I probably could find a video too. Two Israelite brothers that not really known, but two Israelite brothers, and he destroyed them pretty much, you know. And then Polite was supposed to be the Hebrew killer and all of that. Then, you know, then Shaka Utmost came and other little cats came and all of that. But the point is, you know, there was really no Christian threat. Now, the Christian threat came, right, because we was destroying them. We was blitzing their churches. I don't know if y'all remember, but in like 2014, 2015, we was being bullies to the Christians. We was like going in their churches. I'm not talking about, you know, how IUIC, they blitz the churches today, right? Nah, we wasn't blitzing the churches. We were blitzing inside. We were actually infiltrating in there. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, you just wasn't outside boycotting and whatnot. You was actually in there.
And we can't do that no more because now the Christians, of course, they're prepared. Like they're going to make sure that we don't do that. If they see your fringes or, you know, so on and so forth, they took measures to keep that from happening. But we was actually going into the churches and actually, you know, rebuking them inside of the churches, right? So we was bullying the Christians bad. And then you had probably around 2016, you had good old Vocab Malone. He was like the first like Christian on the internet to like really try to take us down. Like, you know what I mean? He was like the first little Christian or whatever. And that's where you get your Christian way from. And I remember the elders, he kind of breathed life into the Christian community at that time. And I remember the elders was like, y'all brothers better be careful because what happens is these doctrines recycle. So when we was worried about the conscious community, the Christians was studying us and they was trying to gear themselves up. And that's what Vocab didn't do nothing different that GodLogic is doing right now. He went to GMS and all that and made GMS look crazy and all of that. And, you know, and it was the same thing. One thing you guys got to understand, they will never be able to stop this truth. They'll never be able to stop this truth. No matter how many Christian apologists come up, they all going to come up and they all going to be irrelevant after a while. No one's going to stop this truth from going. But brothers was getting confounded by Vocab Malone. And I remember the elders was like, look, y'all think the Christians is easy? Because at that time we was like, Christians is light work. And my elder was like, nope, the Christians, they transformed, and they transformed with Vocab. Okay. Now, after Vocab transformed and kind of sharpened up his skills and learned our doctrine or whatever, he was like the leading apologist at the time, expert on our doctrine, and he kind of geared a lot of Christian apologists up. That's when you seen some type of pushback. But, you know, as everything, we evolved and we started giving them the smackdown. You know, you had Sakari at the time, you know, going at it with Vocab, you know, and so on and so forth. And, you know, of course, we prevailed. Once we took that little punch and we prevailed, you know what I mean? And, you know, we got back to it and we started back slaughtering Christians once again. And Christians weren't really, it was like whatever with Christians. It was really just Vocab, really, that was like the main guy that was, you know, that was out there trying to do something, but he even couldn't stop it. Okay. So some time is passing. Let's fast forward now to 2025, man. You got a resurgence of this now, all right? And you got these Christian apologists, and I'm gonna tell you, brothers out there, all right, they are studying us, so we have to prepare ourselves. Like, stop trying to look. The days of us just being able to grab a Bible and go teach from YouTube videos we watching, that's over.
It's over.
You might come across a Christian apologist. I'm looking for him. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm looking for him. You might come across a Christian apologist that, you know what I mean, is sharp in the word, man. And he know your argument better than you. So you brothers got to be studied out there. Don't go out there and be half-cocked. You know what I mean? Because you might end up on somebody's video. Did you want to say something?
Nah, that's true. I mean, they coming out here and they swinging. They not being the punching bag no more. They studying. They watching our videos. They studying our terminology. They knowing the precepts we're going to go to. So like my brother said, you can't go out there half-cocked. You got to be ready to swing and knock them out and improve the doctrine. You know?
Yeah.
This is a real deal.
Yeah. Now I haven't talked to GodLogic yet. I haven't talked to GodLogic at all, but I would love to talk to him, honestly. I'm being real. But I'm not one of those guys that I'm looking for a name and clout. But if it permits, I would love to talk to him. Hopefully, you know, there's a situation to where, you know, we can go to New York one of these days, man. I want to get blitzed. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm being honest. I want to get blitzed, brother. Okay, so let me just now let's go ahead and get into it, because my brothers know me. A lot of people don't know, but my brothers know me. You know, they know how I am. Go ahead.
When we was in San Francisco, beautiful time out there. Shout out to BOW San Francisco. Brothers be putting in work out there. But when we was out there, I was supposed to street teach in front of the Oracle Arena or whatever where Golden State plays. And we saw this Christian apologist. And I always remember, even when we was driving over there, Rato was like, man, I can't wait to run into one of these. I can't wait. And I'm like, it's my turn to teach. I'm going up, but I see him over there. I'm like, this is my brother's time to shine.
Yeah, I wanted
this is my brother's time to get what he wanted. And lo and behold, the video that came out of it was a banger, and also showing you that these Christians don't know what they're talking about. You know, beautiful moment in San Francisco. Once again, shout out to the brothers in the Bay.
Shout out to the Bay.
Putting in work, doing the mighty works. But that was that day when.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the video for him. I'm gonna pull up the video because I'm pretty sure everybody remember. So this the video he talking about. I was fiending. I'm not gonna even lie. I was fiending. I was like, look, brothers, I want to run into a Christian apologist. I am fiending to run into a Christian apologist. And it was actually this video. Some of y'all probably remember it. This video right here. This video right here. Okay. This video right here. All right. Christian apologist finds out he's going into slavery all-star weekend. And I remember, because he looked like vocab. he looked like vocab. This was 6 months ago. He looked like vocab. And I remember I was like, I want him. And remember what I told you? I said, he probably think we a bunch of niggas that don't know the Bible. Remember I told you that? I said, this man, I can tell by how he talks. I can tell by his persona. And I was like, he's going to come over here. And I guarantee he doesn't understand that we know the Bible the way we do. And if anybody watched this video, y'all can clearly see the same talking points that all of the Christian apologists do. He tried to do the whole rigmarole, and I seen it from a mile away, but I took away his argument. And this is actually going to go into. This is a good point. This is a good video that you want to say something?
No, I'm just saying, like, hey, you could tell by his demeanor how he walked up and how he was peeping us from talking from the side.
Not to cut you off. And he had his little chess piece on.
His little camera.
He had his little camera.
Tried to get a gotcha moment.
Yeah.
But he got through the spirit.
Through the spirit, man.
You know?
Through the spirit, man. And I remember this is great though. This is great. I'm happy that you actually brought this video up, because one thing that I want to point out is that if anybody's seen that debate with GodLogic, when GodLogic went to Deuteronomy what was that 29 and 11, right? And the topic of, do the Gentiles get salvation? Now, I know a lot of brothers been changing their doctrine, changing the way they view things with the whole salvation narrative and all of that, right? But I'm going to put this on record. I have been teaching for a long time. I always knew that it was always a better idea not to argue whether heathens have salvation or not. You can't be scared of that word salvation. Salvation just means to be saved from something. There are going to be nations that's reserved. And what did I tell y'all back in that time? I don't argue whether Gentiles get salvation or not. To me, that's redundant.
Right.
What I argue is, what is their position?
Bingo.
What is their position in the quote unquote salvation?
Exactly.
I've been arguing that 6 months ago, but not even just 6 months ago. Let's go all the way back. I never took the approach. Word to the wise, I'm never going to argue whether a heathen has salvation or not. Now, does a heathen have salvation under the covenants and the promises that we get? Now, that's different. But does the heathen have a chance to be in the kingdom and serve under the Israelites? Absolutely. I don't have any problem with that. I've never had a problem. And just to prove real quick, because I'm going to go back. Go ahead.
And why you getting that? Why our people get caught up on the word salvation so much is because they think when we hear that word salvation, they think that's the same salvation that we receive.
Yes.
Towards the heathen, and it's not. They get redeemed in a certain way, but their redemption and their salvation is servitude.
There you go.
That's the point you have to prove. That's the stance you take, because that's what the scriptures say.
Don't try to fight, and don't try to fight whether a heathen is going to be there, right? Don't try to fight whether or not a heathen is going to be there. When we say, does a heathen have salvation, quote unquote, I don't mind saying a heathen is going to be reserved. I don't mind saying that all the heathens, a lot of the heathens going to get destroyed. Primarily Esau, but I don't mind saying the heathen's going to be there. It's not an issue. So when I see brothers fighting this uphill battle, to me, I'm like, you don't have to do that. We have to be honest when it comes to the Bible. Now, not to cut you off, this was 4 years ago. Now, this was 4 years ago. If you go back and watch Hebrew Israelite live discussion with Christian apologists, topic Gentile salvation. If you go back and watch this 4 years ago, you're going to see the same talking points, and you're going to see Ratazan literally tells this man, listen, brother, I don't mind you saying they're going to be saved from destruction, because some of them are. This is what I want to talk about. I actually want to talk about what's your positioning. See, and this was 4 years ago. All right. So just for everybody, because, a lot of brothers been covering this topic, and, brothers, I've been had this stance. Like, I never seen it profitable to argue like they don't get salvation. No, now they don't get the covenants that we get. Right. But, is heathens being there? I don't mind saying that, man. You know what I mean? Go back and watch this video too. Go ahead.
That's a tough position for the Christians to argue, and it's an uncomfortable position for them. For the heathen nations to serve Israel, they don't really want to talk about that. They rather talk about them having the covenant, them having the blessings, them fighting that fight, instead of them serving us. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to have that conversation.
Right. And that's always been the position that I've always maintained when it came to the whole Gentile salvation topic. Now, if we're talking about do they get to receive the same blessings, that's a different thing. All right. So now, without further ado, I also got a video too that we're gonna watch. What's this guy's name, real quick? Let me get this guy's name. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. We're gonna watch a video too. We're gonna go into Deuteronomy 29 as well. But let's get. What's this guy's name? Hold on. Let me see. His name is. Some of y'all probably heard of him. Sam Shamua. Shimon, I don't even know how to say his name, but he's another Christian apologist that totally twists the word. This is one of the they're all evil about how they twist the word of God, but this dude right here, he the chief. This is a chief devil. I'm gonna be honest, and we're gonna watch a video with the Sam Shamua dude in a second, but I do want to touch on this Deuteronomy 29 and 11 real quick, because I want to gear up all of the people that follow us here at Believers of the Way. We love y'all. We want to gear y'all up, get y'all ready, so y'all can understand this. So let's go to Deuteronomy 29 and 11. Now, Deuteronomy 29 and 11 is not a gotcha moment. Let me just say that. Right. It's not a gotcha moment. It's only a gotcha moment. Let's get that real quick. It's only a gotcha moment if you allow it to be. Right. Okay. Let's read that. Go ahead.
You want verse 10 or verse 11?
Let's read verse 10.
Con. This is the book of Deuteronomy 29 and 10.
Right.
Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel,
Right.
your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp. From the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water.
Now, Israelites, let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something, Israelites. You're going to get fried if you try to argue that the stranger in this context is the Israelite.
Yep.
That's not to say that in other contexts of scripture that there are not actually Israelites that are referenced as strangers.
Right.
Okay, which we're going to get an example of this. All right. Ray Israel said, I must get out to LA to worship with you brothers. Man, Ray Israel, pull up. We love you. Pull up, brother. We got class tomorrow at 4:30. Pull up. If you need our email is right there. Email us. I'll give you my contact. Pull up. All right. We'll love to have you, Ray. All praises. So if and that's what the good brother Yawasop tried to do. Now, he did have some good points towards the end, but I think he should have did that earlier on, which was focused on not so much arguing if heathens going to be there. Because remember, man, look, don't be scared. Heathens were among us. We don't have to be scared of that. Okay. So when an Israelite pull this out and they try to say, did they get the covenant right here? Did they get the covenant? See, this says they got the covenant. When they try to pull that on you, no, they did not get the covenant in the fashion that we got to go, because the covenant is the law.
Right.
Okay. So in order to understand if they got the covenant or not, we have to go into the law and see what these strangers are doing among us. See, that's what I would have did. I would have been like, yeah, they were there. Did they get the covenant? They didn't get the covenant that the Israelites get, but I'm going to show you what they did get, the covenant that we did make with our strangers, because that is talked about in the law.
Right. In multiple places.
Now, all love to our Israelite brothers. Shalom, I believe the chapter itself tells you that the strangers are Israelites, but I respect your position. And all love, brother. This is not no bashing our Israelite brothers, but what I will tell you is if you try to take this position, it's going to be a hard position for you to fight. I'm gonna show you why, right? Because look at this, and I'm gonna also give my position on why and how I know that this is not talking about Israelites. But I love all my Israelite brothers that's out there preaching the word. So much love and respect to you, bro. But let me show you why I know that this is not Israel. Let's go to verse 10. This is what GodLogic did. All right, read verse 10 again.
Deuteronomy 29 and 10. Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers. With all the men of Israel.
It says with some of the men of Israel.
With all the men of Israel.
So in verse 10, the Most High already recognized all the men of Israel. That's a period there. He already recognized all the men of Israel there. He already, from the elders to the chief men, right? All the men of Israel were already recognized there. Then, verse 11.
Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of the wood unto the drawer of thy water.
Now that is key. It says, strangers that is in thy camp, and then it gives a description of these strangers. From the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. Now, contextually and scripturally, what is the position of a hewer of wood and a drawer of water in Israel?
Man, servant.
Huh? You talk louder.
A servant.
It's simply a servant. We're going to prove that. A hewer of water and a drawer, a hewer of wood and a drawer of water is a job description from the servants among us, not for Israelites. That is not for Israelites. That is for servants. All my good brother Yahweh Sop had to do was stop right there and say, okay, cool. Yeah, they're there. But why did it put emphasis on a hewer of wood and a
Right.
drawer of water?
Right.
Okay, we got to get that. It's very, very simple. Israel, if you try to fight that these are actually Israelites, you're going to get beat up. I'm telling you. And now that's not to say, all right, that's not to say that, you know, there's no other places where you see. But before we get there, let's go there. Go to Leviticus 25 and 23. Yeah, we can see. It's all about the context, which BOW stands by. Leviticus chapter 25 real quick. And let's read verse 23. Look at this. So this is an example of Israelite being called a stranger or a sojourner. This is a fact. Go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for ye are strangers and sojourners with me.
Right. So that is an example, and we're going to come back to Leviticus 25. So don't worry. We're going to come back to Leviticus 25. But that is a clear example of Israelites, the context being Israelites there, and they're being called strangers and sojourners with the Most High. Because why are they being called strangers and sojourners? Because that land ultimately belongs to the Father.
Right.
It doesn't belong to us. We're renting it and leasing it when we're righteous. But when we're not, the Most High said that he would kick us out. So yes, we do see examples of, but now in Deuteronomy 29, let's go back there. Let's go back there. The context is different. Very simple, guys. You don't worry about that. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah, the heathens were there. It's okay. We don't have to change what the Bible says or try to, you know, insert an understanding that is not really there in a context. So let's go ahead and read verse 11. So we already read verse 10. You see he addressed all men of Israel. Go back to verse 11 again. Read verse 11 one more time.
Deuteronomy 29 and 11.
Read.
Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water.
So now that is key. Mind you, I have dealt with people like GodLogic before. I was in the church with people like GodLogic, you know, before. These brothers are very articulate and they're smooth with their words. So if you try to argue that that's actually an Israelite, it's not going to go well with you because he's going to kill you in the context. You can't let him do that. It's okay. You got to accept the context. That's fine. Accept it. Right. But let's actually go into it, because yes, watch this. Y'all gonna kill me in the comments. There was a covenant that was established with the heathen. Okay. Yeah, there was a covenant. Now let's go into the law and see what that covenant is. But let's stay on that drawer of water,
right,
and hewer of wood. Go to Joshua chapter 9. Look at this, y'all. Let's get this in Joshua chapter 9, and let's go ahead and let's read verse 1. Let's start at verse 1. All right, watch this, y'all. Go ahead.
The book of Joshua, chapter 9, verse 1. And it came to pass, when all the kings which were on this side of Jordan, in the hills and in the valleys, and in all the coasts of the great sea over against Lebanon, the Hittites and the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites heard thereof, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord.
Now, this is when our enemies were gathering together, because this was the conquest of Joshua. What was Joshua trying to do? Joshua was trying to conquer Canaan, and he was beating their ass. He was beating all the nations that was our enemies coming against us. He was whooping on them. All right. So let's keep reading.
Verse 3. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho and to Ai, they did work willingly and went and made as if they had been ambassadors, and took old sacks upon their asses, and wine bottles old and rent and bound up.
So when these brothers at Gibeon heard what Joshua was doing, they was like, hey, hold on, man. Hold on. We ain't trying to get caught in the mix. And they put the beat down on us. So let's go ahead and bring some tribute to these brothers, and let's bring that to these brothers. So we can let them know that we not trying to go to war with them. We scared of them. Right? Okay, read.
Verse 5. And old shoes and clouded upon their feet, and old garments upon them, and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy.
Okay, so let's go down to verse 6. Oh, yeah, you was already there. Go ahead.
Verse 6, and they went to Joshua unto the camp of Gilgal, and said unto him and to the men of Israel, we be come from a far country. Now therefore make ye a legion with us.
Make us a legion. Make us a covenant with you. Joshua, the brothers at Gibeon was like, look, make an agreement with us. Make a covenant with us. We've come from a faraway place to seek y'all out. And before y'all run into us, we gonna beat y'all to the punch. Man. We ain't got no issue with y'all. Watch this. Read.
Verse 7. And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, peradventure ye dwell among us.
See, it's not a problem that the other nations would dwell among us. That's not an issue. So Israel, don't get caught up in, yeah, they was there. It's okay. Yeah. Right? So Joshua said, okay, peradventure, let's say you do dwell among us. Watch this. Read.
Peradventure ye dwell among us. Read. And how shall we make a league with you?
So what benefit are you being with us to us? This is what Joshua was telling them. This is a righteous man, by the way. Right. What benefit is it for y'all to be with us? We're in Joshua chapter 9.
Verse 8 right now.
Yes, Joshua chapter 9, verse 8. Hey, Malachi, do me a favor. Put the scriptures in the chat for me. All right. Put Joshua chapter 9 in the chat, and we're at verse 8 right now.
Yep, we're on 8.
So read that again.
Read verse 7 again. Joshua chapter 9, verse 7. We read 1:7. And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, peradventure ye dwell among us. Read. And how shall we make a league with you?
They like, what can we do to make league with you?
Right.
Watch what the nations replied. This is what Joshua said to them. Read. Yeah.
Verse 8. And they said unto Joshua, we are thy servants.
We are thy what?
We are thy servants.
What did the men of Gibeon say?
We are thy servants.
What is the stipulation for the other nations to be among us?
We are thy servants.
We are thy servants. If you go into the ESV, it translates to slave. I love how I read in the ESV.
That's cold.
Let's see if we can get it in the ESV real quick.
I could do it on my phone real quick. Oh, you show the people.
Yeah, I got it right here. Let's go to Joshua 9 and 7.
That's 9 and 8.
9 and 8. And let's see. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna see how it reads. I'm gonna see how this reads in the ESV. We're gonna get it in the ESV, right? Because I'm gonna see how it reads in the ESV. Let's see. Okay, in this chapter, it actually does translate. It actually does translate to servants in the ESV in this one, but in the ESV, for Leviticus 25, we're gonna get it in Exodus 12. We're gonna get that in the ESV, but it does in the ESV. It does still translate to servants in the ESV. But I like how it reads in the ESV in Leviticus 25, which that's the law, which we're gonna get it. But the point is, they said to Joshua, what? Read verse 8.
Joshua 9 and 8. And they said unto Joshua, we are thy servants.
We are thy what?
We are thy servants.
Okay, remember, don't forget that hewer of wood and drawer of water, guys.
Bring it out.
Okay, says we are thy servants. That is a description of a servant. Okay. All right, watch this. Read.
And excuse me. And they said unto Joshua,
read.
We are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, who are ye? And from whence come ye? And they said unto him, from a very far country.
Read.
Thy servants are come because of the name of the Lord thy God.
They're like, look, your servants have come to serve you. Right now, let's get to the point. Now they eventually they actually told a lie. You know what I mean? And the lie was they were actually not from a journey afar off. They were actually really close in proximity.
Right.
But they lied to Joshua. They put on, because they wanted sympathy for Joshua. When you read the whole chapter 9, they wanted sympathy from Joshua. So what they did was they made it seem, they put this moldy stuff, these raggedy clothes on, had molded bread and all of that, and they made it seem like they were traveling from afar so they can get more sympathy. So that's like, I don't know if these brothers is going to kill us, so we might have a better chance if we come lowly. So let's act like we've been traveling far to get to them. That way they'll see our dedication and all that, and they'll have mercy upon us. So that's what they end up doing. So they end up lying because they weren't far off in journey, but they were indeed afraid to run into the men of Israel. But now watch this. I love how this reads. So let's read verse boom boom boom. Read verse 13.
Joshua 9 and 13.
Read.
And these bottles of wine which we filled were new, and behold, they be rent. And these our garments and our shoes are become old by reason of the very long journey.
Okay, so that's just letting y'all know that they was lying to Joshua. Okay, we're gonna get to the point in a minute. Read verse 15.
Verse 15. And Joshua made peace with them and made a league with them to let them live, and the princes of the congregation swear unto them.
Okay, so they're like, all right, cool. Y'all can come be among us and y'all can be our servants. Is that a bad deal?
Man,
That's a bad deal for me.
that's less work.
Put sevens in the chat. If a heathen came up to you and said, hey, I want to be your servant, I'll give you all my money in the bank account. I'll do whatever it is that you want me to do. I just want to be your servant.
Man, hey, let me throw my 7 in there.
Put sevens in the chat if you're going to turn that down.
Let me throw my 7 in there.
Yeah, go ahead and
If
empty
you're not
that
gonna
bank.
turn that down.
Yeah, go ahead, empty that bank account. Go ahead, give me that. Now, the only reason why we wouldn't do it in today's time is because right now the heathens got power right now. But if the heathens didn't have power and the heathen came and said, hey, I just want to mop your floors, and I want to clean your school, and I want to clean your toilet, and I want to make sure that the school is tidy, and I want to work for you guys. If we was in, who gonna turn that down?
Right.
Surely not me.
Me neither.
Yeah. Come be among us. Yeah. If we have power, yeah. You don't get a chair, you can sit on the floor back there. It's all good. Be among us. Be among us. See what I'm saying? Not an issue. This is the same thing Joshua was saying. Now, this is the point, because we want the job description. So Joshua ends up, let's get to the point. Joshua ends up finding out that they were actually lying. Okay. They were actually lying. They weren't telling the truth. Now, this is the point. Go to verse, let's go to verse 19.
19?
Yeah.
Okay, con. The book of Joshua, chapter 9, verse 19. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, we have sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. Now, therefore, we may not touch them.
All right. So they're like, all right, they safe. We already told them. They got our word. We're not going to destroy them. Watch this. Read.
This will we do to them. We will even let them live.
Read.
Lest wrath be upon us.
Read.
Because of the oath which we swear unto them.
Read verse 21. Watch
and
this.
The princes said unto them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water.
Let them be what?
Let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water.
Let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water. That is a job description for a servant.
Amen.
Okay. Quite different than if your brother was a hired servant. We're going to get that.
Amen.
It's quite different. This job description of a hewer of water, or a hewer of wood and a drawer of water, is a job description for a slave.
All praise to the Most High.
So when you read that in Deuteronomy 29, that description is signifying servants among Israel, not actually Israelites. Not as if we needed to even go into that, because verse 10 already lets you know that all the men of Israel were already accounted for. That's why you're going to die if you try to go there in that context and argue that those was Israelites.
Right.
In that particular context. They weren't. So now, read that again from the top, 21, verse 21.
Joshua 9 and 21. And the princes said unto them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood
Read.
and drawers of water unto all the congregation, as the princes have promised them.
You see that? That is a job description for a servant. But Joshua ends up finding out that they were lying. So when Joshua ended up finding out that they were lying, let's read verse 23. Read.
Verse 23. Now therefore, you 22?
No, let's just read read 22. Go ahead.
And Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, we are from a very far far from you.
Read.
When ye dwell among us.
Read.
Now therefore ye are cursed.
Read.
And there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen.
Wait, hold on. So none of you shall be freed now. So it ain't no chance that y'all leaving now. Y'all gonna stay among us forever. Forever. And what are they gonna be doing as bondmen forever? Read.
Verse 23. Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen. Read. And hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God.
Israel were not hewers of wood and drawers of water. That is a job description for a bondman and bondwoman. Do y'all understand? That is a job. So whenever you see hewers of wood and drawers of water in regards to the strangers, those are literally slaves. Okay? That is a job description of a slave. It's that simple. So that cannot, in that context, in Deuteronomy 29 and 11, that is not an Israelite. Because we were not the hewers of wood and the drawers of water in the scriptures. It's really that simple. Watch this. Read.
Verse 24.
Read.
And they answered Joshua and said, because it was certainly told thy servants how that the Lord thy God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore, we were so afraid of our lives because of you.
So they was like, look, we was basically scared of y'all, so we came up with a lie. My bad. We sorry. Verse 25. Read
verse 25. And now, behold, we are in thine hand, as it seemeth good and right unto thee to do unto us. Do.
They completely submitted.
Amen.
They completely submitted. They completely submitted. Hey, do whatever it is you see fit to do with us, Joshua. We don't want no problems.
Man,
this was a God-fearing man. So you got to tell your Christians this.
Man, read them this chapter.
Read them this chapter. Does that seem like the good Christian man of forgiving and all that? Nah, this seemed like an Israelite. Joshua right here is talking like a Hebrew, a black. I'm gonna say black for the context of what they call us.
Right.
Joshua right here in Joshua chapter 9 is talking like a black Hebrew Israelite.
All praise to the Most
High. He's talking like a black. He like, you ain't never gonna be free.
Right.
And y'all gonna be getting all water. Now, when you say drawers of wood and hewers of wood and drawers of water, that's not like an easy job description.
It's not.
That's like chopping wood for fire and all of that. Y'all ever seen the movies where they are anybody in Africa or whatever, where they carrying big buckets of water on their shoulders and falling? It ain't no joke. And they had to do this for the whole congregation of Israel.
Man, how many came out of Israel, out of Egypt, Doc?
Man, multitude.
The women was what, over 600,000.
We gonna get that. Read this though.
That's crazy.
Go to verse read verse 27. So we can end it.
Joshua 9 and 27. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation.
Read.
And for the altar of the Lord.
Read.
Even unto this day in the place which he should choose.
So where were they doing this service at? In Israel. They lived among us. And they was hewers of wood and drawers of water. So when you go to Deuteronomy 29 and 11, you try to argue that those strangers right there are Israelites, you're wrong, not only in the context of that chapter, but you're wrong even with the job description that is provided for them.
Right.
Being a hewer of wood and a drawer of water is a slave job description.
Laborious work.
It's laborious work. That's not an Israelite job description. All right. So it's okay. Now let's go from there. It's not a problem. So what GodLogic was attempting to do, which to me, I seen it a mile away when he went there. It was like, I already knew what he was going to do. What GodLogic attempted to do was he attempted to hopefully play on the ignorance of our brother.
Yes.
To get him to fight a fight of, because he knew already that the strangers are Israelites. He wanted that fight in that verse particularly because it's no way to get around it. All I got to do, that's why if you watch the debate, GodLogic kept saying, we not moving from here.
Right.
You know, also in a debate, never ask, can you move from somewhere? Okay. A good brother should. Can we go somewhere else? Nope. We're not going nowhere else. GodLogic kept saying, if you go back and watch the debate, we stand right here. Deuteronomy, and they stood right there for like most part of the debate. Okay. For the most part of the debate. Right. He tried to hang him right there. Now, like I said, the brother did bring out some good points towards the end. But by that time, it was already, the damage was already done.
Go
ahead.
It was the hole was already dug. It was too late.
It was too late, right?
You know.
Now, let's go to Exodus 12. So let's go ahead and get this. We don't mind saying that the heathens were among us. Let's get Exodus 12. So what I'm gonna tell GodLogic is, yeah, are you a light to the Gentiles? Absolutely, we're a light to the Gentiles.
Amen.
Yes, we are definitely a light to the Gentiles. Yes. I have no problem with being a light to the Gentiles because we're going to see what the law says about that. Let's get Exodus real quick. Exodus chapter 12, verse 35. And when you got to go ahead and get it.
God. Exodus 12 and 35.
Read.
And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses.
Is it 25?
35. You
want
25 or 35?
Yeah, go to 25. I'm sorry. No, yeah, you're right. 35. Read it one more time. I'm sorry. Salakia.
No, you good, King. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment.
Was there a mixed multitude that came out with Israel? Yes, it was a mixed multitude that came out with Israel. But what were they doing?
Right.
We were looting them. GodLogic. We were looting them.
Right.
When that mixed multitude came out, we were looting them. They were throwing their money and their gold and their jewels at us and saying, here, take all of my precious ornaments and my precious chains and bracelets and all of that. Take my cattle. Take everything with you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the mixed multitude was doing. See, I'm gonna go. Did the mixed multitude come out with us? They absolutely did. But what was the mixed multitude doing when they came out with us?
What was their purpose?
What was their purpose? What is the purpose of the Gentiles even being created?
Bringing that out.
See, that's what we don't understand because we don't really follow the biblical narrative. Now, granted, I'm gonna be honest. Are we gonna be raping their women and all of that? No, we're gonna actually keep the law towards them because I'm gonna show y'all some things. See, Israelites. Don't let your hate for them blind you from what the Bible just simply says.
Bring that out.
Let's be honest about this. Don't let your hate for them blind you from what the Bible simply says. What I mean by that is, if the Bible simply says that we see the heathen among us, we see Uriah the Hittite, we see Ruth, we see Rahab, right? I think that's her name, right? Rahab. We see Rahab, which we're going to go into that a little bit. We see these heathens among us, but it's not that the heathen were among us. It's what were the heathen doing among us and what was their positioning among us.
That part. That's the conversation, Ak.
That's the conversation we got to have. And that's the conversation I've been having on record for 4 years.
All praises.
I'm never going to argue with you where heathens around. Nah, but let's keep reading. Read that in verse 36.
Exodus 12 and 36.
Read.
And the Lord God gave the power, and the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians.
What did they do?
And they spoiled the Egyptians.
They spoiled the Egyptians. They robbed them for everything that they had. Oh yeah, give me that. Yeah, give me that. That's no different than what we gonna do. Oh yeah, give me that Louis bag. Yeah, give me that Gucci bag.
All of it.
Yeah, give me that Prada. Give me all of that. Yeah, I want it all. Yeah, give it to me.
And the jewels.
The jewels. Yeah, give me the
rubies,
them diamonds and them rubies you got.
Sapphires. I need them all.
Give me all of that. Yeah, I want all of it. Yeah, and then you can maybe come with us. All right. Yeah, give me all of that. We ain't tripping off of none of that. I want it all, baby.
Right.
Give it to me.
And they're gonna be willingly to give it to us as well.
And then,
that's the thing.
Yeah. And
just as the Egyptians did.
Exactly. This is foreshadowing the salvation that we're going to get, because the funny thing is that Christians will always tell you that the way that we're going to get delivered is similar to the way we got delivered out of Egypt.
For sure.
Well, who we spoiling? Who we going to be spoiling?
Man. We spoiling,
because when we left Egypt, didn't we spoil them?
Most definitely.
So the nation that Israel is in captivity to, right? We're gonna be, but see, that's why the Christian dogma is off, because they're gonna tell you that the Christians are gonna be the ones that have the power and all of that. But wait, so the Christians gonna be spoiling the people? Christians gonna be, no, we don't believe in that. We believe in love and opportunity for everybody. But the Bible don't say that. The Bible says when Israel was delivered, we gonna be taking all of the things that belong to us.
Amen.
Y'all understand? So it's okay. Let's keep reading. Read.
Come on, verse 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot that were men beside children.
Read.
And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, and even very much cattle.
So a mixed multitude came up too. That mixed multitude right there is the actual heathens. They came out with us. They was like, look, we want to go with you. We're going to prove that in the law, because the Bible literally says, the stranger that is among you, they were among us. It was a mixed multitude in the wilderness that were with us. Okay, we can clearly see that in Deuteronomy 29. Okay, they're gonna give us, but the key is not to fight. Don't argue whether they were there or not. Don't argue if we were nice to them. Yeah, we were nice to the ones that bow down. It's not an issue to be nice to the heathen that bow down. It's not a problem. Again, don't let your hate draw you away from the actual context of the scriptures, because then you will lose that debate. Right. All right. It's okay. So now let's go from there. So we see that. Let's go from there. Go to Deuteronomy 4 and 5. This is the law. We all in the law right now, because that's how we got to get our understanding. And then we're going to go back to that Deuteronomy 29:11. I'm going to show y'all something.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Just from my personal experience, I've been in the truth for 5 years. I advise everybody to at least read over the law once a year. Every year that the Lord lets you go forward in this, go back over the law, go back over the first 5 books and understand that's the milk. That's the basis of the scriptures. That's the basis of the understanding. That's the foundation. Go over it once a year. Go over it a couple times and always be familiar with it.
Absolutely. I recommend you do that too, because what the Christians are doing now, they're attempting, like we're going to get with this Sam Shammua cat, they're attempting to go into the Old Testament and try to stump us in the Old Testament. So we got to be more sharper with them. Then we are more sharper than them in the Old Testament. So it's okay to stay in the Old Testament and just chop them. If they go to the Old Testament, they dead.
God.
They dead in the water.
God.
All right. The covenant that the heathen get is servitude. Okay. The covenant that the heathen get is servitude, and you got to be well scripted in the law. Okay. One thing I read this law. I'm gonna go in. Hey, look, I ain't letting no Christian outwit me in the law. We gonna stay there.
Anywhere in the Bible.
Anywhere in the Bible, really.
For sure.
But damn sure not the law. They can try to twist Paul and all that.
For sure.
But you not twisting the law, brother.
Right.
Nah. We gonna stay there, and I guarantee you gonna die there, because you gonna admit. GodLogic here on camera, you're gonna admit, were these strangers among Israelites servants and slaves? Yes or no? And because I'm gonna even be honest, not all of the strangers were necessarily servants and slaves either. You got to be careful. But now, were they second-class citizens? Yes, they were. We're gonna get that, because I'm gonna tell you, it was worse places that GodLogic. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It was worse places that GodLogic could have went to. I'm gonna be honest, in the law, to make it seem like the heathens are on one accord with us. I'm gonna show y'all. So y'all pay attention. So let's read that Deuteronomy 4 and 5.
Con, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5.
Read.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
So when somebody tells you, when GodLogic tells you were they there in Deuteronomy 29 and 11, and were they there when the covenant was being reestablished or whatever in that particular chapter or what have you? It's not a shame to say, yeah, they were there, but the covenant is the law, statutes, and commandments. So let's go into the law to see what pertains to them. How about, okay, GodLogic, cool. Now let's go into the law and see what pertains to them. You see that? You see how I did that? You see it?
You made a separation.
Yeah. Instead of me arguing were they there or not and who this stranger is, because I'm afraid to admit that they were there, let's go into the covenant now and see what pertains to them in the covenant.
Now that's a conversation.
Now that's a conversation.
That's a conversation.
You see what I'm saying? That's a conversation. We got to go into what pertains to them. We're not arguing the hoopla. Let's get that. Read.
It's a pointless argument, Ak.
Yeah.
They were there. Verse 5, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
Read.
That ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it.
Okay, so that's the covenant. Read.
Keep therefore and do them.
Read. Remember, the covenant is we keep his laws in our land. Read.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
See, this is our wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. The nations are going to see this. They're going to see our covenant. They're going to see our commandments. They're going to see our structure. They're going to see our jubilees. They're going to see the way that our nation is being ran. And what are they going to say? Read.
In the sight of the nations, which shall hear all the statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
The nations are going to see and say, surely this is a wise and understanding people. How are the nations going to say that if they're not among us or with us or being able to see what we're doing, to say and to understand deeply what our laws and commandments are, to even be able to say, surely this is a wise and understanding people.
Right.
You understand? That's not that's not a problem.
God.
Yeah, they're going to say, surely is this people a wise and understanding people. Absolutely. All right, let's go from there. That was all the 8.
That was 6.
Oh, keep reading.
Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Verse 7. For what nation is there so great?
What nation? This is what the nation's going to say. This is what the heathen's going to say. What nation is there that's so great? What nation there is that is so great? Read.
Who have God so nigh unto them?
And God is with them.
Amen.
The nations didn't say God is with us. They said God is with them. See that? Read.
For what nation is so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for?
You see that? It says, what nation is so great that God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for.
Right.
Right? Because the nations, listen, everybody's going to serve the Most High God. Don't get that twisted.
Right.
The nations, they're going to bow down. They're going to have to. They're going to have to get in line. They're not going to be free in the kingdom to just worship whatever God they want.
Right.
They're going to have to lay down or stay down.
Man.
Bow down or lay down, I should say.
Man.
You know what I mean? What's that Ice Cube? Bow down when you come to my town.
What was I thinking?
Bow down when you westward bound. Bow down. You see them? They're going to have to bow down.
Bow down to it.
Yeah, we're going to be greater than them. And that's the point. Read that in verse 8.
Verse 8. Hey, that's West Side Connection, by the way, family.
Wait, hold on. Let me just say this. I would love to talk to GodLogic directly. I want one of his followers to show him this. I'm going to catch him live one day, and I'm going to go on his live stream. But I know how he deals on his live stream. His live stream, he kind of controls it the way he controls it, cuts you off. I mean, it's his live stream. I mean,
right, of course.
You know what I mean? That's his live stream. I would love to talk to him on an equal platform. I would love to. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. Even I would even get on his platform, but I know what's going to happen. He's going to control it, but that's fine. I've been waiting to get him on. I've been watching, because one thing that I do, family, I study my enemy first.
God.
Before I study my enemy first. I study his talking points. I study this Sam Shamua dude too. For real.
Chief Devil.
Chief Devil. Look, I put a post on Facebook. I said it's time for me to start getting my Christian killer back on, because that's what I used to do. You know what I mean? Back like in 2012, 13, all that. Back in that back 2016, we got to get back in that bag. We got to get back in that bag.
Amen.
So I would love to talk to GodLogic. I love to. Absolutely love to. Now, let's go ahead and get this. But right now, we just going to kill a doctrine so all of y'all watching can know that your Savior is not saving you from none of that. The heathen's still going to go into servitude.
All praises.
Right now, we stand in the law because that's where he tried to go to the law and fight. All right. Let's read verse 8. Read verse 8 again.
Con. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all the law, this law,
read.
Which I set before you this day?
All right. So that's the nation's going to say, this is surely a great and understanding people. We don't mind that the nations are doing that. We don't care if the nations were there. The nations being there don't stop nothing we got going.
Right.
Now, if you try to argue they get the same exact blessings we get,
that's the problem.
That's the problem. And we're going to show that that's a damn lie.
Right.
They get servitude or being a second-class citizen. All right, we're going to go through that. Let's go from there. So go to Joshua 2 and 6. Let's see what Rahab, why she was able to stay among us. What did she do? Joshua chapter 2 and read verse 6.
Joshua chapter 2, verse 6.
Read. So if anybody knows the story, in Joshua chapter 2, verse 6, or Joshua chapter 2 as a whole, I should say, this was when we were going to take over Jericho. Okay, we're about to take over Jericho. The walls of Jericho came down. It's a popular story. If you're a Christian, if you're an Israelite, you know this story. Now, the harlot Rahab begged for her life. In return, she hid the 2 spies of Israel. Okay, this woman turned against her whole entire nation. She turned against her whole entire nation. Her whole entire nation got obliterated, wiped out. And this is why she was allowed to be among us. Y'all understand what we're saying? Her whole people were wiped out. She turned against her whole, she was a traitor to her whole bloodline.
That's what granted her salvation.
That's what granted her salvation.
That's funny.
All right. That's what granted her salvation. Okay.
Brother fighting in the chat.
All right. And you know what we're gonna do? Production 438. If you want, we're gonna put the link in the chat for any Christian that won't smoke or whatever. We're gonna put a link in the chat, and y'all gonna feel free to come on. We can talk to y'all, right? But I want y'all to think about that for a second. For her to, if anybody out there wants the link, we'll put that in the chat. For her to get salvation, she had to be willing to have her people utterly wiped out. My brother Corey Knopp said, damn. Absolutely. Her whole race was wiped out. Read that in verse 6.
Con. Joshua chapter 2, verse 6. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house and hid them with the stalks of flax,
Read.
which she had laid in order upon the roof.
Read.
And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords.
Read.
And as soon as they which pursued after them were going out, they shut the gate.
You see that? Read.
And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. And said unto the men, I know that the Lord have given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you.
She was like, I heard. That's like, imagine you being in America and you hear we about to go to war with Russia, and 2 Russian spies came over, and we already afraid because we didn't see what Russia did. We didn't see all of that. The whole nation is afraid, and instead of you being strong with your nation, you become a sellout and you sell out your nation. This is what she did. All right. This is what she did. Straight sellout. Sold out her whole nation. Y'all know the rest of the story. Read verse 10.
Verse 10. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there any remain any more courage in any man.
So they had the fear of God in them, right? Let's get to the point with her. Let's read verse 13.
Verse 13, Joshua 2 and 13. And that ye will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sisters and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. And the men answered her, our life for yours, if ye utter not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord have given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee.
Yeah, well, you know what? Absolutely. After we get done with our lesson, if he's still alive, I don't know who is HHS.
I never heard of
I don't know who HHS is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. But once we finish this class, I don't mind going live with anybody. All right. But the thing is, her salvation, if you want to call it that, her saving her life is her destroying her seed. Yeah. We'll save your family alive. You know what her dad must have told her, and her mom and her cousins and all her family? Yeah, you better go make that deal. Absolutely. We're going to get all our whole seed line wiped out, but we don't care. Let me ask you a question, Israel. How many of y'all would turn on your people? How many of y'all would turn on your people for another nation to stay alive? How many of y'all would turn on your own people? Because every time we see this, every time we see heathens and them being saved, it's always for them to be put in a precarious situation. You're going to see that throughout this. You're going to see that throughout this. So she had to kill her whole nation. Somebody said, my boy Antonio said, if I was a heathen, absolutely. You better if you was a heathen.
That's a good point that you said. Like, for the heathens to win, ultimately, they have to be put in a precarious situation. And we see that with Exodus, with Pharaoh, that for him to go forward, he has to let his slaves go.
Yep.
And he couldn't do that, and everything that he built and everything that he maintained was destroyed.
Absolutely.
You know, that's powerful that you said that. It just clicked in my mind.
Absolutely. And watch this. Now, to that point, now GodLogic went to Deuteronomy 29 and 11, right? I want y'all to follow me. Watch this. GodLogic went to Deuteronomy 29 and 11, and he attempted in Deuteronomy 29 and 11 to say that the heathens get the covenant. But the covenant is the law, right? Us agreeing to keeping the law, right? This is what I would have did. How are the heathens? How are you assuming that the heathens get the same promises that we get in the covenant? Mind you, we're not dealing with New Testament. Right. We're not dealing with New Covenant. You know, when they try to argue the New Covenant in Christ, this should have been an easy cakewalk. We talking about the covenant, because you know they try to twist the New Covenant, even though the New Covenant is just reestablishing the old, with the caveat of Christ, right? Just put that out there. But think about it for a second. They're not even going that far. He's arguing that they are equal with us and co-heirs with us in the old covenant, quote unquote, right? Why didn't he go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6? Right. Because a part of the old covenant is go to Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. Yeah, you can send him our way. If you want to get on, he can get on. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
The book of Deuteronomy.
We take all fades when it comes to Christianity, man. So if he want to come on, he can come on. Definitely. I'll throw the link right in the chat. I don't know who he is, but he can come on. Read that in Deuteronomy 7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
I would have been like, okay, how is he getting everything when the covenant says specific things catered to Israel? Right. Read that.
Book of Deuteronomy 7 verse 6.
Read.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above some people.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Only, because this is another argument they're going to hit you with. Above only the people that are pagan worshipers.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So if the covenant says that we are above all people on the face of the earth, but you're saying that the heathens are a part of that covenant in Deuteronomy 29 and 11, that means Deuteronomy 7 and 6 is a lie. Because the covenant says we will be above all people. They don't, meaning they can't get the same respect we get.
Right.
A part of our covenant.
Right.
Do you see how easy that was? Do you see how easy that was? They get the same covenant here in Deuteronomy 29 and 11. Oh, really? Well, why did Deuteronomy 7 and 6 say that if the Israelites will be above all people? So how can they get the same thing we get if we have to be above them in this old covenant? Easy work. Easy work. It's that easy. You just got to go read the covenant. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Read that one more time.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
And if you are to say that the heathens among you can be joint heirs with you, that would be making Deuteronomy 7 and 6 a lie, because a part of that covenant is us to be above all people. It didn't say all people that don't enter the covenant.
Right.
All people that get circumcised to be with you. I mean, all people except, I should say, the people that agree to serve me. You can rule all people except the people that want to serve. It didn't say that. It just simply said that we will be above all people. It's very clear. Keep reading. My brother Antonio said, keep reading. You absolutely right. We don't keep reading this covenant.
God.
That clearly that you know that GodLogic didn't understand the covenant, because a part of the covenant is us being above the nations. All of them, not some of them. And Joshua 9 shows you that. The people that want to come peaceable with us, they still servants.
God.
Period.
Clearly shows it in Joshua 9.
In Joshua 9. It don't matter. Hey, we heard God is with you. Cool. What you want to do for us? We'll be your servant. Good. I like the way that sounds.
Let's make it happen.
Not just, we're going to get the Sham Shamua cat, not just the pagans. Oh, yeah. Israel's going to rule all the pagans. No, he's going to rule all the nations.
All praise to
whether pagan or not. I'm going to show that. Now, let's keep reading that, though. Read.
End of verse 6. To be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Read.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people.
Who did he choose? He chose us. Read.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
Read.
But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he have sworn unto your fathers.
Wait, who was the oath sworn unto?
Unto your fathers.
Why wasn't this poured out in a debate? Did it say the oath was sworn with your fathers and the heathen that are among you? No, it didn't say that. But it didn't say that the heathen couldn't be among you and couldn't join with you. It didn't say they couldn't, but the covenant was not established. The heathen are nowhere being talked about right here.
Right.
There's a criteria for them to be. This is talking about all the tribes. Read.
Verse 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he have sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, and from the house and from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Read.
Now therefore that the Lord
Know therefore
that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments.
Read.
To 1,000 generations.
There you go. With your fathers. Keyword, your fathers. Okay, but we're going to stay in this covenant. We're not leaving it. Because I want to show you what the heathens get that are in league with us. That's what we got to do. We got to show that. We have to bring it out. We have to bring it out. Now, let's go ahead and get Leviticus 25 and 44. Now, this is where it gets tricky, y'all. Now, we got to be honest, family. We got to be honest. I got to be honest with you. It's all good. He not being disrespectful. He just trying to get us to have a debate. If you want, that brother can come on to our channel of 1438 Production. If you want, you could tell that brother to come on our channel. We'll share the link and he can get on with us, as well. You don't have to keep spamming the comments trying to get us to go over there. Right. I don't even know who he is, but I don't mind talking to whoever he is. He can come to our platform, but we are doing our lesson right now. All right. But let's get that real quick. And Leviticus 25. Now, don't get scared of this, Israel, because some of y'all about to get scared right now. This is 35. Yeah. If thy brother wax poor. Yeah. No, let's get before we get to that. Okay. Leviticus 25 and 35. Yes.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 35. All
right. And so this is laws dealing with like bondage, servitude, so on and so forth. This is dealing with the land. This is dealing with the Jubilee and so on and so forth when you read Leviticus chapter 25. But one thing that I want to key in on is the Bible is a real book. Let's not forget that. The Bible is a real book. The Bible is not a fairy tale. It's real.
Right.
Can your brother fall on hard times?
For sure.
Absolutely. Your brother can fall on hard times.
For sure.
But the Bible gives specific laws and guidelines for if your brother falls on hard times. Can there be a heathen that is well off among you in Israel? Yes, there can be a heathen. Are our people in America second-class citizens? Absolutely. But do you have your few that have money like Jay-Z and Beyonce and all of that? But that doesn't mean that they still not niggas.
Right. They still Israelites.
Yeah. Look at what happened with Kanye. Kanye was a billionaire.
Man. And lost it all.
And look what they did. Look at Kaepernick. Kaepernick was well off. But money doesn't matter. Success in a nation doesn't matter. What matters is power and rulership. Are there poor Edomites in America today?
Of course.
Yeah, there's poor Edomites in America today. Yeah. And are there rich Israelites in America today? Yes, there's rich. So don't be scared of that because the Bible talks about that.
Right.
Don't be afraid of that. The key is let's stick to the context of the abilities that we have versus the abilities that they have. So are there heathens among us that are servants? Absolutely. But are there enslaved? Absolutely, for the most part. But are there heathens among us that might be well off and might have some money? Yes. Did King Solomon work with, we're going to get this. Did King Solomon work with heathens to build the temple that gave tribute? Yes. Hiram, all of that. Queen Sheba, all of that. We're going to read that. So don't be afraid to say and see what the Bible says. Do you understand? Now watch this. So let's go ahead and read that.
Leviticus 25 and 35.
Read.
And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yeah, though he be a stranger.
This is another context where the word stranger is used for an Israelite. So remember what I said. The word stranger can be found to be used for Israelites. Never arguing that. What we're arguing is for our good brothers that argue that in Deuteronomy 29:11 specifically in the context that's not dealing with Israelites. But here is another example of Israel being reckoned as a stranger in the context. We do see that. Read.
If thy brother be waxen poor and fall in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yeah, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
Now, if my brother fell on hard times, whether he was from my tribe or not from my tribe, I'm supposed to treat him right. I'm supposed to treat him as a brother. And what are some of the things that I'm supposed to do with him? Read.
Thou shalt, take thou no usury of him.
I'm not supposed to charge usury of my brother. I'm not supposed to charge usury of my brother at all. Okay.
Explain usury.
Go ahead.
And just for everybody's understanding, usury is, say I lend you $20, And when it's time for you to give me that 20 back, I charge you 40. It's interest, it's tax. When we lend to each other, it's no tax. What I give you, you give back to me. So when the Lord says don't commit usury among another, a brother that fallen on hard times, don't give him a hard time with money. If you give him something, let him give you that back in the same fashion you gave him.
Absolutely. So it's just interest. So like when you go get a loan from the bank, all right, they charge you interest. When you go get credit and all of that, they're going to charge you interest. According to the Bible, you're not supposed to charge. And this is where they get it from.
Right.
This is where the fake Jews and the banks, remember the fake Jews, the small hats, they own the banking systems. This is where they get that interest policy from. They get it from charging usury. But according to the law, you're not supposed to charge usury against your brother.
Right.
Okay. So if Namanawaf or anybody else needs a loan from the school, we'll give them that loan flat rate. We won't charge him usury. We won't say, hey, look, if every month when you pay your bill, we're going to charge you a little extra on the top. Or
5%.
Yeah, extra 5%. We can't do that. That's against the law. Okay. So you can't charge interest to your people. Read.
Verse 36. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee.
Right. So my brother should be able to live with me. Right. In our nation, we should not see this epidemic of homelessness. We would never see this epidemic of homelessness. Read.
Verse 37, thou shalt not give him the money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase.
Right. So we can't charge usury, right? Or interest. Read verse 38.
Verse 38, I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan and to be your God.
You see that? So the Most High God said, I am your God. Read verse 39.
Verse 39, Deuteronomy, Leviticus 25 and 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
And if our brother is poor and he's in our hands, remember the Bible's a real book. Not all the Most High covering all sides when we get in our land. Not all Israelites is going to be super rich and all of that.
Right.
Most High this is a real book. Some might be better off than others. So the Most High God is saying, if this situation does arise, you're not supposed to treat your brother as a bondman or a bondwoman, a servant to serve you in that capacity, a hewer of wood and a drawer of water.
Right. You don't treat him like that.
You don't treat him like that. He's not a hewer of wood and a drawer of water. You don't treat him like that. Read.
Salakia, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant.
Read.
But as an hired servant.
You have to hire that man. So you know what? I'm going to hire you. I'm going to pay you a wage.
Man.
I'm going to hire you. You'll be an employee.
Yes.
Not a slave.
Yes.
Or a bondman.
Showing you the complete difference, Ak.
Yes.
That there's levels to this.
Yes.
There's levels to this, family.
It's levels.
That's why it's important to read the law. I'm starting over in Genesis already. I've been reading this whole week. I'm getting back into it.
Look what verse was that you was in?
That was the bottom of 39 and then the top of 40.
Okay. This is what I wanted to read in the ESV. I want to show the people in the ESV. We're going to keep reading. Let's read it in the ESV. All right. So look what it says in the ESV. Yeah, I got it. Well, yeah, you can't read it. I'll just read it. I'll have you do the King James and then I'll read it in the ESV. Leviticus 25 and 39. If your brother becomes poor beside you and sells himself to you, you shall not make him serve as a slave. I love how it reads in the ESV, right? He shall be with you as a hired worker and as a sojourner. He shall serve with you until the year of the Jubilee. All right. So up until the year of the Jubilee, 7 years, you finish, you complete. But you shall not make him to serve as a slave. You see that? So you can't enslave your brother. Read verse, go ahead and read 39 and 39. Start at 39 again.
Got you. Leviticus 25 and 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant.
You see that? You shall not compare him, right? Read verse 40.
Verse 40. But as an hired servant and as a sojourner.
Read.
He shall be with thee and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
Okay, so, and you can't have him as a servant or a slave forever. Once he's hired by you, the year of Jubilee, whatever debt he got, let's say if you got a debt and he got to work it off, he done. That's it.
God.
He can go out. Read verse 41.
Verse 41, and then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return.
Read verse 42.
For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen.
And you see what it says in the ESV right here, family? It says, for they are my servants, whom I brought out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as slaves. Y'all see that? They shall not be sold as slaves. So it is against the law for an Israelite man to be a slave. Read verse 43.
Bring it out, Doc.
This is the covenant.
This is the law.
This is the covenant. We should have went to Leviticus 25 in that debate.
Man.
Y'all see what I'm saying? We should have went to Leviticus 25 in that debate. Family, you know what I mean?
God.
Read that again in 42. Yeah.
God. Leviticus 25 and 42. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt.
Read.
They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy God.
You see that? So it says in verse 43, you shall not rule over him ruthlessly, but shall fear your God. I love how it reads in the ESV. See, that's why y'all got to familiarize yourself with the covenant and with these laws. So our people can't happen to our people. Read verse 44.
Verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen.
And I love this. In Leviticus 25 and 44 in the ESV, it says, as for your male and female slaves, whom you may have, you may buy male and female slaves from among the nations that are around you. The other nations that's among us, they can be our slaves. This didn't say only if they pagans. This didn't say only if they your enemy. This just says plainly, the nations, they can be the slaves.
So
go ahead.
So the hewers of wood and those that fetch the water?
The hewers of wood and those that fetch the water, yeah, them.
They can be our slaves?
They can be our slaves. They are our slaves. That's a slave job description.
Amen.
Read verse 45.
Verse 45 or finish 44?
We finish 44 and then we'll go to verse 45.
Leviticus 25 and 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaid, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them ye shall buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and shall be your possession.
And look, because I see some Christians might be in here. Okay, listen. Right now, I love it. Right now, what we're talking, so we can get caught. You can get caught up in the context. Right now, we're staying in the covenant. The debate with GodLogic, he was staying in the covenant. We're staying in the covenant now. Of course, when we get through history and we get to the New Testament, there were some changes that had to be made because Israel was scattered, we sinned, we were wicked, so on and so forth. But what we're doing is, if you're going to try to fight me in the law, you're going to lose that battle every time. And that's what GodLogic did. He tried to fight him in the law and in the covenant, not the quote unquote New Testament covenant, which we'll talk about that too, because that's not saying nothing too different either. But what Christians try to do is separate the new covenant with the old. GodLogic was so bold, he went to the quote unquote old covenant to try to say that the Gentiles are co-heirs in the old covenant. He should have died in the law. He should have died there, because they're not. They don't get the same rights as us in the land. They don't get the same opportunities as us in the land. And we're also going to pull up a video of this Sam Shammua dude who clearly lies and butchers the scriptures to try to paint that narrative. But we're going to show you today that that is a lie. But I'm going to watch what they do. So I'm going to read verse 45, Leviticus 25 and 45 real quick in the ESV. You may also buy from among the strangers who sojourn with you and their clans that are with you. So what the Sam Shammua dude is going to try to do is say the only people that could be your slaves are the pagans. They're the only ones that could be your slaves is the pagans. The other people that hold on to the covenant, they can't be your slaves because you got to treat them like Israelites. Well, that would contradict Deuteronomy 7:6 because Deuteronomy 7:6 says we have to be above all nations. If you're saying all nations can graft our covenant and be one with us, Deuteronomy 7:6 is a lie because now we're equal with the nations. All they got to do is hold our covenant. So that's not what the context is saying. That doesn't mean that we didn't have nations among us. That didn't mean that we had nations among us that weren't successful. We did, and we're going to see that in the next verse. Because we got to be honest, family. You can't be afraid of these verses. We're going to read these because it doesn't change the narrative. We're going to read this. So look, you may also buy in Leviticus 25:45, you may also buy from among the strangers whom sojourn with you and their clans that are with you, who have been born in your land, and they may be your property. So all of the covenant heathen that are around and about us, and not even just around and about us, but even those that, because they'll try to say, yeah, that's only in verse 44, the ones that are around and about you, not in your land. Nah, verse 45 says the ones that are in our land that obviously took hold of the covenant, right? This is their lot in the covenant, to be our property and to be our slaves. You understand? And we don't have a problem with that. I definitely don't.
Me neither.
Look at read Leviticus 25:46. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 46.
Read.
And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you.
Read.
To inherit them for possession. They shall be your bondmen forever.
They shall be our bondmen for how long?
They shall be your bondmen forever.
Forever. Was that verse 46?
That's 46.
Read. Is that all of 46?
That's not all of it.
Read.
But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor.
I love that. How long did it say? For a little bit of time?
Forever.
Y'all ever seen that movie, The Sandlot? The Sandlot? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Put sevens in the chat if you've seen the movie Sandlot. Y'all got to get y'all movie game up. Y'all got to step y'all movie game up. Forever. If you ain't seen The Sandlot, shame on you. Go watch The Sandlot.
Classic.
Leviticus 25:46 says, you may bequeath them to be to your sons to inherit as a possession forever. So we can pass down the heathens and their children's children as servants in the kingdom forever. And this is not our enemies only. This is people that dwelling in our land. We can buy them and sell them as property forever. It says you may bequeath them to your sons after you to inherit as a possession forever. You may make slaves of them, but over your brothers, the people of Israel, you shall not rule one over another ruthlessly. Y'all see that?
Ain't no way around that.
Ain't no way around that. Now, we got to deal with it. Look, Israel, we got to be honest. We got to deal with it. We can't lie. Truth will set you free. Now, they're going to try to bring this out on you. You got to understand this. Read Leviticus 25:47. Now, let's see the flip side.
Let's keep the balance.
Let's keep the balance. Read.
And Leviticus 25:47. And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of thy stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again.
You see that now? What if there's a situation where a stranger is well off more than your brother in the land? There's no issue with that. Right. We see that. What if there was an Israelite that actually was working for a stranger in the land?
Right.
That's not a problem. Don't we see a glimpse of that? All right. We see a glimpse of that with Joseph. Was not Joseph put up in high rank in Israel?
Most definitely.
Joseph was definitely put up in high rank in Israel. Was he an Egyptian? Not at all. No. Joseph was not an Egyptian. Was not Moses in a high ranking in Israel?
He was.
But was his people in high ranking in Israel?
Nope.
Not at all. Was Moses an Egyptian? So these things happen, and we're going to see even in the scriptures that we work with nations that had money and were well off. That's not an issue. Right. It's not an issue. So let's say, for an example, your brother is not well off for whatever reason, but then a heathen is, and now he's working for a heathen. Can that heathen now treat your brother like a slave? Let's see. Read.
Verse 4.
And I'm going to read it in the ESV too. Go ahead.
Leviticus 25:48.
Read.
After that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. Either his uncle or his uncle's sons may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him
Read.
of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself.
So let's say you owe a debt to a heathen in your land. Can your children be passed down as bondmen and bondmaid?
No,
not at all. Can your brothers redeem you? Like, he get
right.
We'll pay his load. Because remember, Israel is a righteous people. We're not vulgar like the Edomites.
We're not barbaric.
We're not barbaric. But you definitely can't make an Israelite a slave. Not at all. Not at all. He cannot. Watch this. Read.
Verse 50. And he shall reckon with him that bought him and he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee.
Read.
And the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years.
So basically the same law applies when we have our brothers. We have to hire them as employees. So that's the same thing with a heathen that's well off that we can see in the scripture. They have to treat us like employees, and we can say, nah, we're going to redeem him. He don't even got to serve you no more.
Just pay that fee.
That's what it means in the law where it says that no man shall redeem you or no man shall buy you. Remember in Deuteronomy chapter 28 where it says no man shall redeem you. What?
You cold.
That's what it means. Yeah, that's what it means. That's exactly what it means when it says that no man shall redeem you or no man shall buy you. Is actually making reference to Leviticus 25.
No man's going to buy you out of this position.
Exactly. If you guys didn't know. So we could do that. And let's say no man does redeem him at that time. The year of Jubilee, he's free to go. Watch this. Read.
The middle of verse 50.
So off top, is this showing equality in the land with heathens?
No.
Because what Sam Shamour would do, he'll say that the Gentiles that are among us that hold to the covenant of God, they have the same rights as Israelites. Well, if they had the same rights of Israelites, they should have the same rights to rule slaves.
Right.
But they don't. They can't. They only could be slaves. And if it is a situation where we don't mind that. If there is a situation where he got some money or whatever the case may be and our brother is waxing poor, you cannot treat him like a slave.
Right.
But that already shows you that there's no equality in the nation. Nah. Watch this. Keep reading. Read.
And he shall reckon him with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee.
Read.
And the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of an hired servant shall it be with him.
Of a what?
Of an hired servant.
Of a slave.
Of an hired servant.
The rich heathen can have him as a slave.
Of an hired servant.
Of a hired servant, meaning an employee. There's a difference in that covenant. So you mean to tell me our slaves can be the heathen, but if a rich heathen is in a position that is above our brother, he has to treat him like an employee. And he can be redeemed at any time. So we can take him. We're taking him off your hands.
But the heathen can't. The heathen gets passed down from generation to generation.
Because who really wants a person that is their worker to be redeemed? If you work for McDonald's, does McDonald's want you to be redeemed from that? No. They don't want you to find a new job. They want you to stay your ass at McDonald's. Some of y'all work for fast food restaurants right now. That fast food train, some of y'all work in sweatshops. The modern day sweatshop is working in them the factories or whatever. What's them factories people be working in? The warehouses. Hey, if y'all ever worked in a warehouse, you know that's a sweatshop. They don't want you to be redeemed from that. They want you to stay in that sweatshop. But at any time I can come and say, nope, my brother he ain't doing that. You see that?
Clear difference.
And who's really going to work for and let's be honest. Now, the Most High got to put all these type of things in the Bible because it's real. Sure. Who's really going to be working for the heathen really in our land? Not at all, because we love our people. That ain't even going to happen. You ain't even got to work for that heathen. We're going to redeem you. Now, if it was equality, the heathen should have the same rights.
For sure.
He should be able to rule the slaves and all of that. He should be able to have slaves and all of that.
For sure.
But it didn't mention that. But the Bible's also not ignorant to the fact that, yes, you're going to have a rich heathen or two.
For sure. The Most High is all knowledge.
Listen, well, watch this. Keep reading.
According to the time of an hired servant shall it be with him. Verse 51. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them, he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for.
So now let's get to the point. Let's go to verse 54 and read to 55. Let's get to the point, because this is going to show you that it's a difference, right? Read verse 54.
Leviticus 25 and 54.
Read verse 53, actually.
Leviticus 25 and 53. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him.
So I got to get paid, right, as an employee, not as a slave.
Right.
Read.
And the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight.
So the heathen can't rule with rigor at all. But we can be ruthless with the heathens. But the heathen better not be rule with rigor with him.
Right.
He might have to work, because we're a righteous people. We're not an evil people. So let's say if a heathen, maybe I got a relationship with a heathen, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna work for you X amount of dollars. We're gonna make sure we pay that, whatever. But I'm not your slave, and you for sure can't have rigor, for sure. But for the nations, you can have rigor. You
know what's crazy, Ak? You see that with Moses in Egypt. Yes, we were slaves to the Egyptians, but in Moses' spirit, he was keeping this law, like, you're not finna be beating on my brother.
Yes.
He went and go bodied him and buried him in the sand through the spirit.
That's a great point in the spirit. That's a great point. Read verse 54.
Verse 54. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee.
And if nobody does redeem him, let's say a situation happens, he'll be free in the year of Jubilee. He can leave. Read.
Both he and his children with him.
And his children. So ain't no passing my children. Where's the heathens covenant where they can pass down the children of slaves in the kingdom?
Hebrew slaves.
Nah, never.
There.
Read verse 55. That can never happen.
It's not there, Ak.
Read verse 55. To your point. Read verse 55.
For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I have brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
So if a Christian tries to bring this out and say, no, the heathen can also have Hebrew slaves. No, that's not what that's saying. Verse 55 lets you know that's not what that's saying. Verse 55 lets you know, for unto my children of Israel are servants. They are my servants whom I brought forth. So the Most High, like, nope, that can never happen. There'll be hired servant. There'll be employees. They can be employees, but they can't be slaves. And they're only my slaves in the land. Man. And they can be redeemed from being your employee.
At any moment.
What is a businessman? Imagine that in America, where I could just go to McDonald's and say, hey, they don't have to work for you no more. I'm buying this whole contract. Yeah, McDonald's will look at you like, what'd you take all my workers for?
God.
That's not equality.
McDonald's will fall.
You see that?
The laws of God are perfect.
The laws of God are perfect. So don't be shocked if the Christian try to pull Leviticus 25 on you. But I'm bringing it out now because they read in this law. They read in this law. So that's why I'm bringing it out now. You got to understand what it's talking about. If anybody tries to bring this out to show you that the heathens can have slaves and all that, that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about being an employee, not being a slave. Right. There's two differences. All right. And we can clearly see that. Put sevens in the chat if y'all see that. Very easy.
Clear distinction, family.
Clear distinction. Write down Deuteronomy 23 and 19 to 23. That's just going into how we can charge the heathen usury. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get Sam Shamua real quick. I want to get this devil.
This devil.
But before that, though, hold on. Before that.
Nigga look like Caillou, boy. Big head. Big head.
This is easy work. Let me see. Hold on one second. Look at this.
Family, this is the reason why we need to read the Torah. And read it slow, family. Read it slow and get the understanding. Please.
Absolutely.
And he do look like Caillou. We gonna show y'all. Big pasty bald head Arab, whatever he is.
Right. Go to Deuteronomy 14 and 21. Let's see. Read that. Yep. Deuteronomy 14 and 21. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 21. Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself.
So here's another difference, letting you know that these are second-class citizens among us, right? They don't get the same. See, what I would have did was I would have went and said, okay, you're saying that they get the same covenant that we do. Well, let's examine this covenant and let's see that. Let's put that theory to the test, because you're using Deuteronomy 29:11 to establish that they get the same covenant that we get. But I'm reading that there's a difference with the strangers that are among us and what they get and what we get. Once we see that, we can clearly see that they're not equal or co-heirs with us. That's very easy. Here's another one. Very simple. Watch this. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy 14 and 21.
Read.
Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself.
So Israelites can't eat roadkill. When you see a rabbit on a I'm not a rabbit. We can't even eat a rabbit. I'm still like it. You see, let's just normally we see like unclean animals as roadkill.
For sure.
That's why I said that. Y'all don't crucify me.
Yeah,
but let's use a clean animal. Right. Let's say you see a cow as roadkill on a road, or a goat, or a sheep, or a deer. Because you know deer
that happens. They get hit by cars.
Deers get hit by cars. I can't pick up that deer, chop up that meat, and sell it to my brother and my wife.
You cannot.
Or let's say I have a farm and I have a sick animal that dies. I can't use that animal and sell it to my brother and my wife.
He cannot.
Right?
And nor can he eat it.
And nor can I eat it. Right? Vice versa. Now watch this. Read.
Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself. Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates.
Who can we sell it to?
Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates.
Now, I want y'all to put this into perspective. How would y'all feel if y'all found out that white people in America, when you went to a restaurant, they were selling you all the roadkill or all the animals that were sick, and they were selling all the white people that came to their restaurant all the animals that weren't sick? How would y'all feel?
Disrespected.
How would you feel? We would have an uproar.
For sure.
We would have an uproar. Because don't let nobody lie to you. Is that equality? It's me selling you a sick, diseased animal for food. Is that equality?
No.
Is that it? Let me ask y'all this. Is that equality that y'all want?
No.
But I'm going to show y'all how the white man does that today. The grocery stores in the hood, I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but the grocery stores in the hood get all the old food from the grocery stores in the good communities. How many of y'all knew that?
You saying we get the scraps, Doc?
Huh?
We get the scraps?
We get the scraps. So when you go, like, if you go in the hood, right? It was a Ralph's, that Ralph's on Vermont and 120th.
Okay.
Or that Ralph's years ago, if y'all from LA, that Ralph's on Manchester and Western that they had to that had that molded food and that smelly food and all of that and that bad meat and all of that. What they do is they take all the Ralphs and all the Krogers and all of that in the good communities. They got good, clean food. They get the shipment and they take that old food and they ship it out. That's why, if you notice, all of y'all food that y'all getting, all of y'all meat expires in like 2 days.
You got to throw it in a deep.
It'd be like instantly. It'd be like what? It's August 29th. I go to the store. It's a pack of chicken, a pack of wings, and it say Best Buy August 30th. and you could tell they repackaged it.
Right.
If you pay attention, you could tell they repackaged it and they put that little tab right there letting you know Best Buy August 30th, but it's August 29th. Come on, man. I'm from the hood. Hey, I'm from the hood. That's how you treat second class. Let me ask y'all, ain't that how you treat second class citizens?
Come on.
Or is that how you treat first class citizens? Is that how you treat first class citizens? Will you ever see that in the grocery stores in Beverly Hills?
Never.
Will you ever see that in the grocery stores in Palos Verdes?
Never.
Never, because they letting you know that you a damn nigga. You a second class citizen. Read. Go
Can
ahead.
I get a testimony to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was working in Santa Monica and going up to these areas and Palos Verdes and Palisades and all these places, I noticed the streets is full of homeless, but the institutions, the grocery stores, the hospitals, they look nothing like ours. Nothing at all. They are completely different. They have different foods. They have different things that I have never seen before in the grocery store off of Manchester, the grocery store off of Slauson. And I'm shocked. I'm confounded. I'm like, damn, like we 8 miles away from each other, 10 miles away from each other in distance, and they have completely different produce.
That's why I go shop. I go shopping
Man.
good. I take that little 15-minute drive, a little 15-20-minute drive. You go to a Vons in the white area. Matter of fact, it's crazy. They don't really even have Vons in the hood.
No.
They don't even got Vons in the hood. You ever seen a Hey man, put sevens in the chat if you ever seen Vons in the hood in LA. I don't know about any other place.
It's like middle class and up.
Yeah, middle class and up had a
Middle
Vons.
class
Because
and
it's a Vons in Gardena in that little middle class area right there.
Man.
Off of Redondo right there.
Because I really thought about that. Like, there's a Vons off of Lincoln. That's like Westchester area. That's kind of like where the money at a little bit.
Yeah, Westchester over there. Yeah.
Like,
it's a Vons and
there's a Vons down the street from there as well by Horseman. Not Horseman. One of them schools. But
not Horseman. There ain't no Vons.
It's not
over
Horseman. It's another
there.
school that's tucked off in the corner.
Yeah. But somebody said no Trader Joe's in the hood. No, that's the Shy. Yeah, my boy Deshaun. He said no Trader Joe's in the hood. So now let me ask y'all a question, man. Does that sound like equality just using America's standards? Just with us using American standards? Does that sound like equality? Does that sound like a place of where we want to be? Now let me ask you this. In Israel, it was the same thing.
Right.
Read it again from the top.
The book of Deuteronomy 14:21. Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself.
Read.
Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gate.
But I thought they were co-heirs with us. Why is it that we're able to do business with them and sell them nasty food that dies of itself?
Right.
I thought they was co-heirs. See, this is how you go to the law and make him stand on that. Why in a law? Let me ask y'all a question. Let's say, all right, somebody said in Vegas there's a Vons in the hood. Okay, there ain't a Vons in my hood, but there might be a Vons in the hood.
In LA?
In LA, ain't no Vons in the hood. That's why I preference and said in LA. But now let's watch this.
Thank you, family. Moderate.
Let's moderate. Get this nigga out of here, man. No disrespect.
They got him.
Oh, they got him out of here. Yeah, get him out of here.
Brothers on it.
All right, yeah. Hey, anybody that's scoffing like that, get him out of here. If we J-Cats to the community, why you here? You watching J-Cats? What that make you? Crazy. So let's think about this for a second. We talk about co-heirs. You try to go to the covenant and take co-heirs, but I'm seeing that your heathen people can be slaves. I'm seeing that your heathen people can be charged usury.
Okay.
I'm seeing that your heathen people can be sold tainted food.
What else, Hawk?
Don't that sound like us in captivity today?
Most definitely. Really bringing it out, Hawk. Hey, look, what the Lord say though? You're going to be the tail and not the head.
Right.
You're going to be the bottom of society. All these laws are going to be put against you. It's crazy, Hawk.
And that's what the heathen are signing up for in Israel.
Man.
They're signing up for this. Let me ask y'all a question. If y'all was rich, how would y'all feel if y'all was rich and y'all had money and y'all was well off, but your people were slaves and servants? How would you feel about that?
I would feel some type of way.
How would y'all feel? Would y'all think, oh, this is surely a great nation? You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't be happy with that because you're supposed to be above. The heathens will be happy with that because they ain't got no choice.
Right.
But the point that I'm making is that they're not going to be, any person in their right mind that's not forced to do it is not going to be happy with this agreement. That's why in the Old Testament, the heathen wasn't flocking to join the nation of Israel. I mean, they were under us. Like, okay, like when we see a glimpse of that, we're going to get King Solomon. They were under us and tributaries, but they wasn't trying to flock to move to Israel. They was like, nah, we know they got the power right now, but I'm still in my own land. I'm still in Babylon.
For sure.
Because I'm not trying to be a second class citizen.
Because they knew when they come over here, they're going to be under us.
Facts.
There's no rising up over us.
None of that. So I would have just went into the covenant and show how there is no co-equal, co-heir, nothing. And Sam Shamua, he does a horrible job. We're going to get his video in a minute. He does a horrible job, however you say his name. He does a, what do he look like? Who y'all say? Charlie Brown?
Caillou.
We're going to call him Caillou. What Caillou actually does is butcher the scriptures, and we're going to show that. But we can sell them strange meat, unclean meat. Read.
Deuteronomy 14:21. Ye shall not eat anything that dieth of itself.
Read.
Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates, that he may eat it, or thou mayest sell it unto an alien. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk.
So now let's go back, and I'm gonna give y'all one more analogy dealing with these food, right? Hey, food for less. That's like the way I real quick, because I see somebody saying food for less. The way I say, food for less trash. It goes like this. This is the scale. You got your Ralph's, then you got your food for less. The Ralph's is the bottom of the bottom. Ralph's is the trash of the trash. Then you got your food for less. You think
Ralph's is better than food for less?
I mean,
food for less better than Ralph's?
And mind you, I'm not saying the ones in the good areas. I'm saying the hood. I think the Ralph's in the hoods is worse.
Okay.
And me personally, I don't know how y'all feel. I think somebody said Superior. Yeah, Superior is a Mexican trash one. Our 10 tribe. Nah, for real. It's our 10 tribe brothers. That's trash. Superior is trash in the hood. Right? But yeah, food for less is just a notch up to, you know what I mean? Food for less is just a notch up of Ralph's to me. But the point that I'm making to you is that we can sell this meat to aliens, right? People that are not the strangers that are among us, right? Now, let's say you got that stranger that might be rich. Let's say you got a stranger that is rich in our gates, and he's rich because he sells food, right? And he gets his food supply from Israelites, of course, right? Does business, right? And we selling him unclean. We're selling him this meat that's dying of itself. We already know that he can't sell pig and all that to eat.
Right.
We know that. But what he can sell is he can sell meat that dies of itself to who? To his own people.
For sure.
So he getting rich off of selling that meat. We selling that meat to him. So how many Israelites would patronize that heathen's business among our people that's selling that food? We're gonna be like, nah, nigga, where's the good meat at?
Right.
Because you can't sell me nothing that died of itself.
Right.
But you can sell it to your heathen people though. They can eat it, and we can sell it to you.
For sure.
You see how that works?
That's not equality.
That's not equality. That's not equality. It's no different than what they do to us. Take the old meat out of the good grocery stores and sell it to the niggas in the hoods. That's the same thing we doing. That's not equality. Does that sound like equality? That don't sound like no co-heirs in the kingdom, does it? See that? But let's go real quick, man. I want to go to this dude real quick. All right. Now I'm gonna show you how Slytherin. All right. I'll take questions at the end. I'll take questions at the end. All right. Unless you're a Christian and you want some smoke.
And thank y'all for riding with us. Showing support, showing love.
Let me see.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, let's go ahead and get this devil right here. All right. What y'all call him? Caillou. All right. Now let's see how this dude, who is this dude? Fair use. We're doing it for educational purposes. Sam Shamua, aka Caillou. You know the song? I don't know the Caillou song.
Yeah, I ain't gonna sing it.
But that's crazy because I can't unsee Caillou now that y'all said he looks like Caillou.
He looked like him. You see that forehead, Doc?
That's crazy. Now, this is a damn Slytherin piece of garbage. But let's see what he says and how he tries to rectify slavery in the Old Testament. And he starts off with Deuteronomy 20. Okay, so let's see what he says.
20. Moses is explaining.
Turn up real quick. Turn that up. Turn up the speaker, Malachi. Okay, you can hear. Hold on, we gotta turn up the speaker on our end. I'm gonna show you how these Christians do, man. Let me see.
Laws for warfare,
All right, turn it down a little bit.
conduct for warfare.
Yes.
And he explains for the distant
That's good.
cities where Israel can offer
All
them
right.
peace. And
So on one of his lives, a caller called in and he's asking about why did God allow slavery in the Old Testament? And let's see how this devil answers it. I'm doing this because y'all got to be careful with these fake Christian apologists. They're going to butcher scripture every which way. Let's go ahead and see
in
what he says.
Deuteronomy 20, Moses is explaining laws for warfare or conduct for warfare.
Yes.
And he explains for the distant cities where Israel can offer them peace, and if they accept, they'll be slaves.
Yes.
Now, this style of slavery, is this the same as the one outlined in Exodus? So, for example, would it?
You know he got a hard question because he got up. He was like, man, I got to get up. I got to get up for this question. I got to figure out my tap dance right now. So the brothers asked the question, and notice how they only try to make it seem like you only could be a slave when it's warfare. That's a damn lie. We're going to see him butcher Deuteronomy 20.
No.
Yeah, I already did a session on that, but I'm going to explain to you. If you read contextually, Israel is only allowed to conquer Canaan, right?
Correct. Yeah.
No, incorrect. There's no scripture that says Israel's only allowed to conquer Canaan and have them as possessions. No, because you see the other nations. Now, if you're going to say the land of Canaan, yes, we did conquer Canaan, but the context is we're talking about slaves here.
Right.
There's no scripture that says Canaan could only be our slaves.
Right.
Because we see that in Joshua 9, and we also see in the Torah, in the law, in the covenant that the nations, we just read it in Leviticus 25, any nation that's among us can be our servants and slaves.
That's true.
Okay, we just read it. So he's going to say Canaan, right? Watch what he says.
Okay, now Israel, listen to what I'm about to say. They were not given orders to expand throughout the world. It's not Islam or jihad. So if you listen and you pay attention, contextually, read the context, they can only conquer Canaan, right?
Yeah, the nearby pagans, yes.
Yeah, but not even nearby pagans. They're only supposed to conquer Canaan.
Okay, yeah, got it.
The Canaanites, Canaan, the land of Canaan, right? Okay, now, this is assuming that if Israel gets attacked and they go to war, other nations, outside nations come in, like the Assyrians or the Babylonians and Egyptians, right?
Yes.
So now he's trying to build a lie, a complete lie, and say that he's going to allude to this, that the only people that we could take as slaves would be pagans that attack us.
Right. Outside of the people of Canaan.
Yes. Outside of the people of Canaan, the only people that could be our slaves are the ones that are pagans and attack us. Did we read that in Leviticus 25?
No.
Did we read that anywhere contextually? And we're going to go to Deuteronomy 20 because it was funny that they didn't go to Deuteronomy 20. He referenced Deuteronomy 20 because that was the question was asked with Deuteronomy 20. But we're going to actually go to Deuteronomy 20 and we're going to read it. And we're going to see that the Bible doesn't say only pagans can be our servants.
Right.
Deuteronomy 7:6 says the nations. Go ahead.
I mean, the whole world are pagans. They don't serve the Most High.
Right.
So even with that point, we can enslave everybody from his thesis.
Right. But of course they'll argue. They'll try to argue Christ and
right,
mind you, I'm gonna do a part 2 with the New Testament. Don't worry. Right now we're staying in the covenant because these devils are trying to go into the covenant to try to parse the covenant like they're better than us, to parse the covenant better than us. You can't parse the covenant better than us. You can't parse the law better than us. You only can lie on the law. So right now, Deuteronomy 20 is the question, and the question is slavery, right? So he's building a false narrative that we only can enslave pagans that attack us. Watch this.
So you go to war. You have no choice. You got to protect yourself. This is what it's talking about. Now, if you enslave them, the rules are different. They can be your perpetual slaves. Whereas if you read Exodus 21, from verse 1 down, a Hebrew servant is supposed to be released in the 7th year, unless he wants to sell himself to perpetual servitude, right?
Yes.
Now, why the difference? Now, I did a session on this. Now, the difference.
Now, he said that now we read that in Leviticus 25.
Yep.
Now remember, an Israelite can't be a perpetual slave.
He cannot.
He just lied. He cannot be we just read that in Leviticus 25.
He said that?
Yeah, let me go back. We just read that in Leviticus 25. He's painting a narrative that Israelites, he said Israelites cannot be, well, let me rephrase it. Israelites cannot be slaves or perpetual servants unless they sell themselves forever and they want to be a perpetual servant.
Nah, that's not in there.
Scriptures don't say that. Now, there is a scripture that says if I got my brother that don't want to leave me,
Yeah.
then he can stay with me. He's my brother, but he's not my slave. He's an employee. So what he's saying is he's taking the context of them being slaves. No, he's not a servant. He's an employee. He's a hired. Notice how he purposely did not say hired servant.
Right.
He purposely did not say hired servant. He just went to say servant, trying to compare the heathen servants with Israelites, basically trying to get you buttered up to say that Hebrews can also be servants or slaves too. Now, no, they can be hired, meaning working for money. All right, let's go back just a little bit.
Muddy in the waters.
Yeah, watch this. He's a devil.
If you enslave them, the rules are different. They can be your perpetual slaves. Whereas if you read Exodus 21, from verse 1 down, a Hebrew servant is supposed to be released in the 7th year, unless he wants to sell himself to perpetual servitude, right?
The scriptures does not say that he's a hired servant. It's a complete difference in the law with the nations among us and us.
Yes.
Now, why the difference? Now, I did a session on this. Now, the difference is, here's, I'm going to show you the wisdom of God. If someone is willing to let God be God and see the wisdom in it, when you conquer pagans and you enslave them perpetually, that becomes a moral deterrent, meaning what? If you read Leviticus 18.
Wait, so now, and GodLogic alluded to this too, that the only people that we can enslave is pagans. Where in the Bible did it say that?
Don't say that out.
Where in the Bible did it say the only heathens we can enslave are pagans and the ones that don't want to serve God? Where does it say that at in the Bible? It doesn't say that. It says that the heathens around about us and in our land among us can be our servants and slaves.
Amen.
The ones that's in our land among us, they surely not pagans. They surely have to adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments of God.
Most definitely.
Period. Watch this.
Leviticus 20. So guys, listen to this, because this is the second time this question brought up. I answered it, but word creates repetition. We need to hear something repetitively. You got to learn this. So when you conquer the pagans, if you read Leviticus 18 and 20, God.
Why is he quoting everywhere but going to Deuteronomy 20?
Because he doesn't have a ground to stand on.
He literally didn't go to Deuteronomy 20, but he is about to go to Leviticus, where it does say that we shouldn't treat the heathen bad and evil.
Right.
The scriptures do say that.
For sure.
But I wonder why he didn't go to Deuteronomy 20. Mind you, he said Deuteronomy 20 is only talking about pagans and going to war, right? And we only can enslave the pagans. Let's go to Deuteronomy 20 real quick.
Bring it out.
Read verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies,
read,
and seest horses and chariots, and a people more than thou,
read,
be not afraid of them. For the Lord thy God is with thee,
read,
which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people,
read,
and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto the battle, this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint. Fear not, and be not and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them.
Okay, so now let's go down real quick, because mind you, he said that you only can enslave the people that go to war with you, and that can be your enemies, right? First and foremost, I don't want my enemy in a sense, right? Like if I got my enemies and I'm going to war against them, I have to kill all those of my enemies that don't want to serve, because my enemy not going to want to serve. Right. So I got to get rid of all the ones that don't want to serve. The ones that do want to serve, they're no longer my enemies anymore.
Right. They're your servants.
They're servants now. My enemies are going to get slaughtered. And then the people that we don't slaughter, they can be our slaves.
Amen.
Watch this. Let's go down.
10.
Read verse 10. Yeah.
Con. Deuteronomy 20 and 10.
Read.
When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it.
Now, why didn't Shmuel say this? Because he said that Deuteronomy 20 is only talking about, because that's how they lessen the blow,
right?
You know, for Christians. Well, that's only talking about pagans. Pagans are the only ones that can be your slave.
Right.
verse 10 says, when thou cometh nigh unto the city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. First, we're supposed to proclaim peace unto it first.
Right.
Hey, look, we about to ransack your stuff.
Surrender.
Surrender. Just like we seen Rahab do. We about to ransack your stuff. Surrender. If they surrender at that point, they're surrendering to our God and they're not our enemies.
Right.
So Deuteronomy 20 is not only talking about our enemies in the fact of it's only pagans and enemies that can be slaves. No, this is talking about people who want to be under obedience to us, that were at first enemies, but we proclaim peace into it. And what did it say when we proclaim peace into it? Because let me ask you a question. What does peace look like to you, Namana wife? Is peace, when I proclaim peace to you, I say, hey, I proclaim peace to you. Come be my slave.
What would that look like?
No, listen.
Okay.
Is peace making you a slave in your mind if you the slave? If the white man says, Namana wife, I want peace with you, because we thinking about it as an Israelite.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's
don't
crazy.
think about it as an Israelite. If a white man came and said, Namana wife, I want peace with you, my good brother. Give me your house and then be my slave.
Nah.
Would you do that?
No.
Would you accept that?
No, I wouldn't.
That's what Deuteronomy 20 is saying.
I wouldn't. Hell no.
In the chat, would you accept that in the chat?
No. Hell no.
Would you accept that in the
I'm
chat?
not giving you shit. Excuse my language. I'm not giving you nothing.
I'm not. If a white man came up to you and said, give me, hey, look, I come with peace. Give me your house and then be my slave.
No.
Why is the Bible saying that? Now, yes, we're biased because fortunately for us, that's for us. Fortunately for us, this is for us. So we straight.
Yeah,
the Christians got to answer this.
That's what had you had me messed up. I'm like, why would my brother say that to me? Like,
right. The Christians got to answer to this. Right? Read verse 10 again.
Verse 10, Deuteronomy 20 and 10. When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make the answer of peace.
Now, is this, if they answer back with peace, is this my enemy now? No, it's not, because we're talking peace now. This would be a Joshua 9 example. Y'all see how we did that? But you see how this Caillou cat tried to make it seem like Deuteronomy 20 is only dealing with those that go to war with you? That's not what it's talking about. Deuteronomy 20 is not only talking about pagans that go to war with you. He tried to lessen the blow. Well, yeah, that's only talking about the pagans that go to, because of course you gotta kill and take out the pagans and they'll be slaves. No, it's talking about the ones that want to be at peace with us. If we come to a city and that city is want to be at peace with us, we say, okay, cool. And what are we gonna say to that city? Read
verse 11. And it shall be, if it make the answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee.
What's a tributary?
Can we look it up?
Yeah, look up tributary. What's a tributary? Go ahead and look it up. Look up that word tributary. And when you got it, you can read it.
So it's 2. I'm gonna read the tributary. It says a person or state that pays tribute to another state or ruler.
Or what?
Or ruler.
Or what?
Or ruler.
So what will Israel be in Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 11? If we see a city and we go to it and it talks to us in peace, we will be their what?
Their rulers.
We will be their rulers.
Amen.
Because they will be our tributaries. Look what it says in the Strong's. Let me hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get it in the Oh, you was going to that? Let's get it in the Strong's real quick. Watch how it reads in the Strong's. You see how he didn't go to? I was wondering why he never went to the Deuteronomy 20. He went everywhere else but Deuteronomy 20. He referenced Leviticus 25. He didn't even go to Leviticus 25. He referenced all of the scriptures that would have killed his ass, and he went to the scripture that he had some action with. He gave endless rhetoric to not have to go to Deuteronomy 20.
Right.
Didn't go to, but referenced Deuteronomy 20 because that was where the original question came from.
Con.
Referenced Leviticus 25. Didn't go there, but he conveniently went to the scripture that it seemingly is making a good point for his point.
He's windmilling like crazy.
Like crazy. See, I'm gonna make the nigga hold. I'm gonna hold him to that.
Right.
Look at this, Deuteronomy, and let's look at this.
Family, get ready for this because this is the definition for tributary is crazy.
Was this 11? Let me see.
20 and 11.
Let me see. Is this 20 and 11 right here?
Mm-hmm. And this towards the bottom.
Get 20 and 11. To get tributaries. Hold on. Right here. Hold on. Oh, that's why I'm in the ESV. Let me go back to the KJV. Hold on 1 second, family. I want to get the yeah, here it is right here. Excuse me. Deuteronomy 20 and 11. All right, let's look at this word. So H 4522 in Strong's. look at the outline of biblical usages, y'all. Gang or body of forced laborers.
Come on now.
Task workers, labor, band or gang, forced service, task work, serfdom, tributary, tribute, levy, taskmasters, discomforted, labor band, labor gang, slave gang, gang overseers, forced service, servdom, tribute, enforced payment.
Sound like a slave.
Sound like a slave, don't it? But this is the person that's at peace with us.
Right.
That's
at peace with us.
Why didn't my good brother go to, why didn't he just go to the covenant and explain there's no co-equal nothing?
Man.
These are the ones that they will be forced tributaries. They will be forced to deal with us.
Man.
Read this. Let's look at the Strong's definition right here. It says, properly a burden as causing to faint, a tax in form of forced labor, discomforted, levy, task, master, tributary. Oh my gosh. But wait, y'all.
All praises to the Most
High. No, all praises. But wait, y'all. This is supposed to be done to the person that's at peace with us.
Right. That we proclaim peace to the city, and they were okay with the peace. They didn't want to fight, and they became our workers.
Why? And this is why he didn't go to Deuteronomy 20 to explain it, because he's a goddamn, excuse my language, family, but I hate lying Christians. He's a lying Christian. He's lying on the Bible. He wants you to believe that Deuteronomy 20 is only dealing with people that go to war against us, when Deuteronomy 20 says the people that's at peace with us shall be our tributaries, which is another word for slave.
Bring it out.
Look at this, Deuteronomy 20 and 11. Read it again.
The book of Deuteronomy 20 and 11. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee.
Read.
And they shall serve.
And they shall what?
And they shall serve.
And they shall what?
And they shall serve.
Remember, guys, these are the people that we at peace with.
Right. That didn't want to fight. Man.
These are the people that we at peace with.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
I see, the more you read, the more you understand, the more we know that we are these people, the more I see and understand why the heathen nations don't want us to wake up. Because they're going to be our tributaries.
It's no way to get around it. That's why I was so shocked that he wanted to actually, GodLogic wanted to actually stay in the covenant.
Man.
I would have been like, okay, so they co-equal heirs because of Deuteronomy. You see how weak that is?
Very weak.
You didn't go to no other scripture. You just stayed in Deuteronomy, and then he went to Isaiah 49. We're gonna talk about Isaiah 49 on the
Please.
next class. But he stayed in Deuteronomy 29 and 11, and that was the only premise he had to build his false narrative. I would have went to other scriptures in the covenant. All right, so let's go back a little bit and watch a little more of this.
You got to learn this. So when you conquered the pagans, if you read Leviticus 18 and 20, God tells you what the pagans were doing, like the Canaanites, the Egyptians. They would commit infanticide, sacrifice children to gods and goddesses, okay, or Molech or Baal. They would commit bestiality, sleep with animals, incest, homosexuality, lesbianism.
You see what he's doing? What he's doing is he's rocking the boat.
Right.
He's trying to name the most egregious sins so you can be fine with them being slaves in the Bible.
Right.
But did Deuteronomy 20 say any of that?
No.
Did Deuteronomy 20 say they got to be bestiality and all of that?
No, it does
Did
not.
Did Leviticus 25 say they had to be in bigotry and bestiality and killing kids?
Nope. The only requirement is that they're a heathen.
So what the hell is,
Man.
how you talking about? The Bible didn't say, yeah, oh, and you can only enslave them because they kill kids and because they pagans.
Family, that's called adding unto the word.
Bingo. Y'all see that? Watch this.
Innocent blood. When you enslave a people, then you prevent them from acting upon these immoral acts. In other words, it becomes a moral deterrent. You stop the evil from spreading because now.
So you see how this devil this is a good devil. This one of the best devils if I ever seen. When y'all see what he did there, he tried to say, so now you enslaving them is stopping evil.
You're purging the evil by enslaving them.
So God in Deuteronomy 28 is saying you can enslave those heathens because they're evil and you're stopping evil. But wait, in Deuteronomy 20 and 11, it said if they make peace with you.
Right.
Not if they evil. So because if they make peace with us, what does that mean? And there are servants and slaves and tributaries.
Yeah, they're going to do everything we say.
They're going to do everything we say.
They're going to follow our laws. They're going to follow our will.
They're going to have to. This is foreshadowing the kingdom of God. Y'all see what this see, these is what these Christian devils do. They're very good at manipulating the Bible.
And I've noticed that with GodLogic, he articulates his words very, very well. And he sways the scriptures like you said, beautiful example. He rocks the boat. GodLogic rocks the boat. Caillou rocks the boat. And it makes our people feel like, well, damn, he's saying all these things. He's quoting all these verses. He's saying like this and that. He must be right.
And don't fight their battle.
Man.
Listen, I believe in the Bible. I believe in the Bible. I believe in the scriptures, and I believe in 100% truth that the Bible teaches. Don't be rattled because the Most High said something nice about a heathen. We're going to see that. We're going to see that's what he did. Don't be rattled by that, bro. It's okay. This is real life. This ain't no gimmick.
Right.
We're not following a gimmick. I got heathens that's nice to me all the time.
God. That's for sure.
Look at this. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all something. We're gonna come back to this devil. Let me show y'all something. Look, I got heathens that's nice to me all the time.
That's for a fact.
Look at this. It's okay. Look at. Let me show y'all something. This was years ago. Video I did years ago. Let me see. No, not that one. Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe this one right here. I don't know if y'all familiar with this video I did. It was years ago. It's an old school video, but I want to show y'all something because y'all probably didn't catch it. Look, we got a heathen bowing down to us right now. You know what I mean?
Hey, that was one of my first times
Seeing a heathen bow down.
street teaching. No, street teaching with BOW.
Uh-huh.
That was one of my first times before I joined the camp.
For real?
I swear to you.
Hold on. Where
I
is
swear
this?
to you. That's when I was just departing from the other group
Uh-huh.
and found y'all through the spirit. And that was like first or second time holding camp with y'all.
Oh, praises. I don't know why I can't find that video. That was your first time?
My
That's
first
the
or second
memorable-
time, Mark.
That's a memorable moment.
Man, for sure. Little bald head white woman.
Oh, here it is right here. All right, look. So if y'all pay attention to this video right here, it's an old school video.
You cooked in this one too.
This is I think this was like 2000. I had a ducktail in this one. This was like 2000 and probably 15. All right, look. So I was talking to the brothers about Egyptology, but look who you see in the back right here. Y'all see that Edomite right there in the back? Look at him. Now, the whole time we talking, this Edomite is trying to get my attention.
Really?
The whole time. Pay attention to the Edomite, y'all. I didn't pay him no mind, but he wanted to be a tribute. I didn't pay him no mind.
Come.
And look what he said.
I want you to tell me. Wait, check this out.
Pay attention to the Edomite.
One question.
Talk about one man.
Wait,
Why?
I want this one
Look,
question
so we
answered.
can't
Look,
believe
look,
that.
check this out. Check this
Can't
out.
believe that.
Now, what makes us to believe? Why do we believe in this?
Pay attention.
No.
Are the heathen among us?
Come.
Yeah. Are the heathen listening to us teach our people?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
No. Wait. Let me. I want you to. Wait.
Watch this. So it got kind of hectic.
Why would
Look.
we believe the book instead of the temples?
Look, listen.
Look how intently the heathen is listening.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Wait. Peace,
Look at him.
peace. Let me answer the question because we're doing a lot of this. You pose a question, I pose a question, we're answering.
That heathen was listening intently. Pay attention to the heathen.
It's not because we feel him. Look, it's the word of God, but not because we feel him. The reason why we believe in this book is because of prophecy.
Y'all notice how I didn't tell the heathen get the hell out of here.
Right.
I didn't tell him he was a goddamn devil with it. I didn't have to do that. I don't care if the heathen is around, but look how intently he's paying attention. But I want to see if y'all
You have
watch
to
this.
show me on the walls of Kemet. The Bible tells you who would take you into captivity. Give me Joel 3. I want to show you this.
Look, watch this.
Check this out. The Bible tells you who will help you go into captivity, and it tells you when you were going into captivity, and it tells you how you were going into captivity. All in this book.
He's going to attempt to talk. Just keep watching the heathen. Just keep watching the heathen.
But check this out. Check this out. On the walls of Kemet, it don't tell you nothing
He
about
focused.
us going into slavery on
Yes,
ship.
it do.
On ship.
It
On ship.
shows
Wait,
facts.
I want you to
It
show
don't
me.
tell you. It
Wait.
shows pictures dated of you being changed,
Coming up.
of you being put in boats.
No.
Before the Bible even telling you about it.
Time out. We doing a lot of.
The man
I
right
need
here
you
know.
to show
Ask
me.
the man.
No.
The man know what he talking
I
about.
want you to show me. Now watch this.
I'm finna show you right now. I'm finna show my guy right
Now
now.
check this out.
See him? He's shaking his head. He nodding. And notice how this is a precursor to what we're going to do to them. Know how he's intrigued with me.
Right.
He intrigued. He ain't took his eyes off me yet. But it's what he says, right? It was funny because years ago when we see him, like, damn, that heathen was your sir. Brother was like, damn, that must have been one of your slaves in the kingdom or in the past. He must have been one of your slaves in the past. You feel what I'm saying?
Come.
He must have been one of your slaves in the
locked
past.
in,
He
huh?
was locked in.
He was locked in.
Locked in. And I'm gonna show you an example of this in the scriptures too.
Let's bring
Look,
it out.
Look, watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Right. And so now, the Most High God is saying, what do you have to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Tyre and Zidon are the African nations, okay? Tyre and Zidon, those are African nations, right? Read on.
And all the coast of Palestine. Will you
Then
render
on the coast of Palestine, if you go to the coast of Palestine, that's all of like Arabia and the area right? Read on.
I might have to fast forward just a little bit. Let me see.
Why is this important? Because he's talking about the enslavement of the nation of Israel. Who helped in the
Hold
enslavement
on.
of the nation of Israel? So now, look, watch this. We talk about Egypt and Israel relationship.
He said it right here.
Right, because the Egyptians
Hold on.
enslaved Israel. Now, wait, check this out. Time out.
No, what was happening anyway? All of this stuff that the Bible was telling us was already happening years before the Bible was made. It's nothing but a history book to remind you.
Dang, I want to get it for y'all, Israel. I want to get what he said because he said something to me.
You rather read a book And so you've been taken.
He's talking about
So you get
he's
thrown
talking
in the
about
boat.
Israel being in captivity. He's right, because the Egyptians enslaved Israel. Now wait, check this out.
The Bible is telling you this
Wait,
after we already have it.
This when I was young, Rata, too, boy. I was fiery.
Wait, check this out.
All right, look. I think he's gonna say it right here.
Israel. I'm trying to get this to
You see him nodding his head to yes?
The Egyptians enslaved Israel. I'm not saying you wrong. Look, all I'm saying is our timelines are messed up. So now, look, watch this. We talk about Egypt and Israel relationship. Who was in Israel? Who built up Egypt? The Israelites built up Egypt. They did. Check this out. When you do your knowledge, right? History repeats itself, like my man said, right? Check this out. Check this out. When Egypt was in power, who was their slaves? Israel. When Babylon was in power, who were their slaves?
I did.
Israel. When Greeks was in power, who were their slaves under the Maccabees? Israel. When Rome was in power during the time of Christ, who was their slaves? Israel. When America is in power today, who are their slaves? Israel. History repeats itself. So he's right.
And if I can't find it, it's somewhere in here. I think right before he leaves.
Because wait, it all starts from God. We are cursed. Now let me show you something. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Watch this.
Here it is. Did y'all see what he said? It was right there. Did y'all see what he said? I'm gonna go back a little bit. Look, listen closely to what he said. Listen closely to what he said.
Israel. History repeats itself. So he's right.
Pay attention to the right man.
The Most High God is telling you to come back to my commandments to reverse the problem. Because wait, it all starts from God. We are cursed. Now let me show you something. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Watch
Here you
this.
go. I heard now y'all probably couldn't hear him. He said, "Hey, I just want to tell you, I watch your videos all the time." He said, "Hey, I just want to tell you, I watch your videos all the time." He was intrigued. He was admired. He said, "I watch your videos all the time." I looked at him. I heard him.
Right.
But I heard him.
Keep it pushing. All praises.
You see that?
Hey, they're
You
going
see
to come
that?
from far and bow down, family.
He stayed there. That was like, he stayed there for that long, watched us talk, and all he really wanted to introduce himself to me. If I wasn't so focused, because I was a young lion at this time, if I wasn't so focused on my people, I probably could have made him bow down and kiss my boot.
More than likely.
And that's fine. We gonna have those type of heathens among us.
His eyes were locked on you.
Locked in. Y'all see that? Locked in. Let me give that was, somebody said that was my, yeah, we used to make a joke when this video first came out. We made a joke. Hey, that must have been your servant in the kingdom in the past life. But now let's watch a little bit more of this video. I want to show y'all something, how this Sam Shamour dude be lying. Hold on, let me see.
In Deuteronomy 20.
All right, watch this. So look,
laws for.
Let's go here real quick. So look what he says. Let's just watch a little bit more of this.
Keep them in perpetual servitude. Now, where am I getting this from? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Leviticus 19, 33 or 34. So you see, it's win-win situation, right? Leviticus 19, 33 or 34.
When a foreigner sojourns with you in your land, you shall not do him wrong. The foreigner who dwells with you shall be to you as one.
So y'all see where he went?
Dwells with you.
He went to Leviticus. Hold on.
34. Are you ready?
Let's go there. Leviticus 39. What?
19 and 33.
19. Read that. Read Leviticus. This is where he went. Leviticus 19:33.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 33.
Read.
And if a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him. But the stranger that dwelleth with thee shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. You
see that? So he didn't go to Deuteronomy 20. He did not go to what is it? Leviticus 25. All right. And you got to be careful because it's not talking about Israel. Look. It says, but the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Right.
So listen, we gotta be fair with it. We do gotta be fair with it. Well, from my perspective. We could talk, but this is from my perspective, right? When you go to that, let's get that in the blue letter real quick. Listen, another scripture that parallels this. Hold on. Let's get this real quick. Hold on. Yeah, but let me get one real quick. All right, Deuteronomy 23:7. Go there. This, yeah, I know. This is a precept for that. Read that. Yes. Read that. It's the same language. Read that.
The book of the Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land.
That's the same exact language. Now, abhor means to hate. You can't hate and deal with an Edomite or an Egyptian bad. You can't do that. But wait, is the law bad?
No.
We can deal with them according to the law. For instance, can we sleep with their wives?
No.
Can we steal from them?
No.
No, we can't. Well, it depends.
We could
they're tributaries. Yes, but they're tributaries. So that means that they're going to give us what we desire.
But that's not stealing, no.
Yeah, that's
tribute. Give it to us.
That's tribute, right? Can you commit acts of fornications with them?
No.
Not at all. But the law does say we can sell them
dead
food
animals
that dies of itself.
Most definitely.
The law does say that we can hand their children down as perpetual servants, but that's not hate.
No, that's law.
Because that's love. That's law. The Most High said, if you love me, you do what?
Keep my commandments.
You keep my commandments. Read it again, Deuteronomy 23:7. So from my understanding, this is a precept or a retelling of that law that we just got there, because it's the same language. Because they don't have to go there. They just go here. Read it one more time. Go ahead. Read.
Book of Deuteronomy 23:7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother.
Read.
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in the land, in his land. Excuse me.
Read verse. That's all I need. That's all I need. Let me see if I want to read verse 6 though. Nah, that's it. Nah, that's all I need. I don't need no more. So when they pull these scriptures out, listen, it's okay, because yes, we're not no damn Edomite. We're not gonna be raping your women and just randomly hanging you on crosses and trees and all of that, and burning crosses in your front lawn and doing all of that to you. We're not gonna be doing that. We're gonna deal with you according to the law, and the law says you're a second-class citizen.
Amen.
It's that simple. Don't be rattled by that. We don't have to make everything Israelite, in my opinion. Let's go from there. So hold on. Let's finish what he said, because it's a point that I want to get with him too. All right. So look what he says.
Leviticus 19:33 or 34. So you see, it's win-win situation, right? Leviticus 19:33 or 34.
When a foreigner
so notice how he read this, but he didn't go to Deuteronomy though.
Right.
He went somewhere and tried to twist the narrative, but he didn't go to Deuteronomy.
sojourns with you in your land, you shall not do him wrong. The foreigner who dwells with you shall be to you as one born among you, and you shall love him as yourself.
Wow.
For you were foreigners in the land of Egypt.
Now, before you go on, Albert, you see how fair the God of the Old Testament is?
Now, that's the direct language for Deuteronomy.
Right.
It's the direct language saying the same thing.
John.
We were foreigners in their land. Why is it saying we should not abhor Edomite?
Because they're our brothers.
They're our brothers.
Yeah, Con.
That's why
we come from.
You got to be real. They're our brother.
Yep.
Esau is our brother.
Yep.
Yes. Esau is our brother. Why is it saying that we should not abhor Egyptian?
Because we were strangers in their land.
But not just that. It's a specific thing that Egypt did that the Most High smiled upon. They allowed Joseph to save us from the famine. The Most High didn't forget that. He said, don't hate them. You were strangers in their land. They welcomed you with open arms at that time. They saved you. So the reason why is it that those are the only two nations that's mentioned there? See, if I was you, this is how I would go with it. I know brothers want to argue that that's not. This is how I will argue it. I know brothers want to argue that that's Israel there in Leviticus. The way I will argue it is no. I'm not going to argue it if that's Israel because it's still an uphill battle. What I'm going to say is let's get another precursor precept. That precept is only directly in line with two nations,
right?
Egypt and Esau. And the reason for that being is because they were Egypt. The Egyptians saved us from the famine through Joseph, and Edom is our brother. But wait, does that mean that they're still co-equal with us? No. Let's get an example. Look. This is what I would do. Remember when David killed that Edomite? Go to 2 Samuel 8 and 13. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to pull those scriptures out to try to insert that they're equal with us in the land. They're equal with us. Those that of the heathen nations that dwell among us that accept the covenant, they're equal with us. You have to go into the scriptures and show, no, they're not equal with us. Watch 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 13.
The book of 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 13. And David got him a name when he returned from smiting.
Hold on, not that one. Let's see. Hold on. I want this one real quick. I think his name is Doeg. That's his name. Yeah, Doeg. So, 1 Samuel 22 and 18. Yeah. Salakia. Look at this. So mind you, like I said, they're going to pull out these scriptures to try to paint a narrative that the heathen nations, just because it says don't deal with them in a way of, you know, the way Esau dealt with us in our captivity. Remember, the Most High even said, you went over in the book of Obadiah. Esau went above and beyond. He went overboard in our captivity.
He took it too far.
He took it too far. That's why he's going to be completely wiped out. But let's see this. 1 Samuel 22. Let me see. Is it Doeg? Let me see.
What? He's killing the priest right there.
No, not him. Not Doeg. Hold on. Let me find it. Hold on.
You want what? The armor bearer for Saul?
Yes. Hold on, I gotta find it. Yeah, David killed him, but I want what he said is what I want.
Thou touch the Lord's anointed.
Yes, bingo. Yeah, 1 Samuel. I'm sorry, family. 1 Samuel 31. Y'all bear with me.
He killed them because he killed Saul.
Yes. Let's see.
So he fell upon his sword in verse 4, and the armor bearer in verse 5.
Let me see. Is it verse 5? Let me see. What is it? 1 Samuel 31? Let me see. I'm going to find it for y'all. Hold on. Give me a second, family. Bear with me. Yeah, that's the one I want. 1 Samuel, what is that? 1 Samuel 31:4? Yeah, that's the one I want. And I want the language of what David said. Yeah, this is what I want. So yeah, read that real quick. So this is when Saul died. All right. Read that in read verse 3 for context.
The book of 1 Samuel 31 and 3. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archer hit him, and he was sore wounded of the archers. Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But his armor bearer would not, for he was so afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it.
Now, the armor bearer, which was the Edomite, he didn't kill Saul. He was afraid, meaning he respected Saul as. Did this Edomite respect Saul as a king? So this Edomite respected Saul as a king. He was among our ranks. He was in our military. He was the armor. This Edomite was the armor bearer for Saul. Do y'all know what an armor bearer is? You got to trust your armor bearer. When we're out there on the streets and we're doing a teacher reader style, the readers, our elders taught us that the readers are our armor bearers. Hey, pull me John 16:5. Pull me blah, blah, blah. Pull me that. He's my armor bearer. He's pulling the scripture for me. I have to trust my armor bearer. I have to trust my armor bearer so much to the point where sometimes he can pull stuff out that I don't even ask for. He just know. Hey, I got this for you. Hey, I got it lined up for you. That's how it was in war. So this Edomite wasn't some disgusting Edomite. This Edomite was next to the king as his armor bearer, right? So Saul asked him to kill him. He didn't for fear. So that obviously that, he has some type of respect for the king of Israel, right? Now read verse 5.
Verse 5. And when his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him.
I'm sorry. Salakia. I misquoted. The armor bearer is not the Edomite. The Edomites come in later. Okay, read. I'm sorry. I stand corrected on that. Read.
And when his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him.
Salakia. That was not the Edomite. The Edomite comes later. Salakia. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. So now let's go there. So Saul's dead. Let me see. It's the next chapter. Salakia. I'll stand corrected on that. So let's get. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Verse 1. This is the Edomite. Salakia family. I stand corrected. Read for 2 Samuel. 1 and 1.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass after the death of Saul, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, and David had about 2 days in Ziklag, it came even to pass on the third day that, behold, a man came out of the camp from Saul with his clothes rent and earth upon his head.
Read.
And so it was, when he came to David, he fell to the earth and did obeisance.
Read.
And David said unto him.
So now this is the actual Edomite. So did the Edomite fall in obeisance to David? He fell in obeisance. Of course, David is the king, right? So let's keep reading. Read.
And David said unto him, from whence comest thou? And he said unto him, out of the camp of Israel am I escaped.
So he's not the armor bearer, but he is in the camp of Israel. Okay, meaning he was in the military of Israel, but he's not the armor bearer. Okay, but he is in the military. He said, look, so if he's in the military of Israel, that means he's a what? He's a resident in the land. Okay, let's read verse 4. Read.
Verse 4. And David said unto him, how went the matter, I pray thee? How went the matter, I pray thee? Tell me. And he answered, that the people are fled from the battle, and many of the people also are fallen and dead. And Saul and Jonathan, his son, are dead also.
Okay, so you obviously this Edomite wasn't a enemy at this time to us.
Right.
He was among us because David was like, okay, what happened? Give me report. Right. So this would be like a heathen among us. Okay, that happened to be an Amalekite. So David was like, give me the report. What happened? Tell me what happened, right? So this is what he tells David. Read.
It says, as fallen dead, and Saul and Jonathan his son are dead also.
Read.
And David said unto the young man that told him, how knowest thou that Saul and Jonathan his son be dead?
Read.
And the young man that told him said, as I happened by chance upon Mount Gilboa, behold, Saul leaned upon his spear, and lo, the chariot and horsemen followed hard after him.
Read.
And when he looked behind him, he saw me and called unto me and answered, here I am. And he said unto me, who art thou? And I answered him, I am an Amalekite.
You see that? All right. So obviously he was among their ranks. He was with them in battle. Read.
He said unto me again, stand, I pray thee, upon me, and slay me, for anguish is come upon me, because my life is yet whole in me.
Read.
So I stood upon him and slew him, because I was sure that he could not live after that he was fallen. And I took the crown that was upon his head and the bracelet that was on his arm, and have brought them hither unto my Lord.
See, now look at this Edomite. He's calling David his Lord. So this will be an example of a heathen that's among us that is submitting to our rule, right? But he thought it was a good idea to say, hey, I slew him because I was taking him out of his misery. And he thought it was going to be an honorable thing.
Right.
This is the language that I want, because if the Christians like the Sam dude is trying to say that they'll be equal with Israel because Israel is saying not to abhor them, then watch David's language. Watch what David says to a Edomite or Amalekite that is among their ranks. Read.
Verse 11. Then David took hold of his clothes and rent them, and likewise all the men that were with him.
So they were sad. Now let's read verse 13. Get to the point.
Verse 13, and David said unto the young man that told him, whence art thou? And he answered, I am the son of a stranger, an Amalekite.
So David was like, who are you? He was like, I'm a son of a stranger, an Amalekite. I'm one of the strangers. I'm a Amalekite among you, right? This is the Edomite, right? Read.
Verse 14, and David said unto him, how wast thou not afraid to stretch forth thy hand to destroy the Lord's anointed?
Read.
And David called one of the young men and said, go near and fall upon him. And he smote him that he died.
Read.
And David said unto him, thy blood be upon thy head, for thy mouth hath testified against thee, saying, I have slain the Lord's anointed.
Look at that. First off, he asked him who he was, because David already knew you ain't even an Israelite.
Right.
Who are you? Where you come from? Where you come from? And he slew that man. Slew that man.
Where he stood.
Where he stood. So it's okay. Listen, as long as they're in obeisance to us, it's okay if it says don't abhor Edomite and don't abhor that don't hurt us. The point is, you can't make them have the same, like the Sam dude is trying to do. If you're trying to make them have the same covenant and be co-heirs with us, right? Then why is it that in the covenant I can sell them things that die of themselves? I can sell them as slaves, even if they're not pagans.
Right.
Let's prove that in Exodus 12 real quick. Let's prove that in Exodus 12.
Those are questions that will destroy their foundation.
That's what I'm saying. And then you bring out stuff like this. Well, okay, you said only the pagans could be the servants and slaves, right? Okay, well, what about this? Exodus 12. Let me see. Exodus 12. And let me see. Yeah, I want the Passover.
Passover is the 43 through 51.
You see? Yeah, read verse 43. Yeah.
The book of Exodus 12 and 43. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover.
Read.
There shall no stranger eat thereof.
Okay, read.
But every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof.
Wait, so the Sam dude said that the only servants could be pagans, but if they join the covenant, when you're circumcised, don't you join the covenant? So he says, but when the Israelites that are circumcised join the covenant, now they'll be equal with Israel now. That's what he's going to say. But wait, Exodus 12 says, if your servant, in the ESV, it says, if your slave that is bought with money, who is it in Leviticus 25 that only can be bought with money? The heathen, right? And they're circumcised. Well, hold on. Does that change their slave status that they're circumcised?
Not at all.
See, this is the scripture you take them to. Just because they're circumcised, that don't change their status.
They're still heathen.
They're still slaves.
It's like they read one point and then that point disinvolves the rest of the law.
Yes.
It don't work like that.
Yes. So basically what this dude, let's read it. Look, what this dude is saying is this. Look.
If a foreigner who's not physically an Israelite lives among you, you are to treat him as if he's a native Israelite, as if he's born an Israelite, and you are to love him as yourself. This is where the command comes. Love your neighbor as yourself. It comes from this command where God is telling the Israelites, love the foreigner, the Gentile, the one who's not ethnically a Jew, as you love yourself, because he's one of you if he worships me.
Okay, clarification. So if that foreigner does convert to a Yahweh worship Judaism, they would not be considered Israelite, or they'd still be considered foreigner.
No, meaning they're given the status of an Israelite, but he's not an Israelite. Meaning,
okay, got it.
As if he's an Israelite.
Okay, clear.
He said that they will be, if they conform, they will be given a status of an Israelite. Family, is that true? No, because Exodus 12 is them conforming and they're still slaves. I don't know if y'all see the cut. Exodus 12 is them conforming and they're still slaves.
They got the circumcision and they're still servants.
And they're still servants. Read verse 44 one more time.
Exodus 12:44. But every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him,
Read.
then shall he eat thereof. A foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof.
Right. So if it's a hired servant that's a foreigner, because not all foreigners are going to be slaves, right? We're going to have foreigners that's there, but if you're a hired servant, now this is important. Verse 45 is important because a foreigner and a hired servant, because if you're a slave and not a hired servant that is a foreigner, you can't eat the Passover because all our slaves got to be what? Circumcised.
And under the law.
And under the law of the house. All of our slaves have to be circumcised and under the law of the house. Because verse 46 says, in one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth out the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall thy break bone therefore. So if a foreigner or a heathen wants to keep Passover, they must be circumcised, which means they must come under the covenant. But that covenant for them is still to be our slaves, not the promises and co-heirs bullshit. Excuse my language. I gotta be real. It's not talking about that. They still, so his whole narrative of only the pagans and the heathens can be our servants is a lie, because here in Exodus 12, these are not pagans because they're trying to worship God, right?
God.
They're not worshiping their pagan gods, right? So in this instance, they're getting circumcised, but it still says that there are slaves and that they're still bought with money.
Yeah, it don't hold up in court, Doc.
Con. All right. So we're gonna do a part 2 to this.
Con.
So in Leviticus 19:34, somebody said he's still Malachi funny. So look, in Leviticus 19:34, right? You precept that with Deuteronomy, right? Do not abhor Edomite, do not abhor an Egyptian, right? So remember, what is love?
Keeping the commandments.
What is love? All right. Give me that in John 14:15. Give me that.
The book of John, chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commandments.
All right. It says, if you love me, keep my commandments. Let's go to the law. Leviticus 19, that same chapter. All right. Let's see, what is love? Leviticus 19:17. Remember, yeah, I agree. We do got love according to the law. Read that. Leviticus 19:17. Watch
The book of Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Okay, what's the opposite of hate?
Love.
The opposite of hate is love, right? So how do you not hate your brother in that heart? Read.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So basically, anything that's sin would be what? Hate. Anything that's love would be what? The law. So guess what? I don't hate you, Edomite. I don't hate you, Moabite. But guess what? According to the law, you could be my slave. And I'm not acting outside of the law.
And that's me loving you.
That's
cold.
Look.
That's cold.
Did the brothers of Gibeon find favor with Joshua?
God.
But did Joshua tell him, you still gonna be my servant?
For sure.
Did Rahab find? That's why I brought those scriptures out earlier. Did Rahab find favor with Joshua?
Where, with the spies? God.
But did she have to kill all of her people?
She had to give them up, huh?
Right? That's what it means. So don't get caught up on that, the love and all of that. Nah, it's simply the law. We love them as far as the law tells us to love them. And the law tells me I could sell your people as slaves.
I could give you roadkill.
I could give you roadkill.
And that's me loving you.
And that's me loving you.
That's all the Lord is saying.
You see what I'm saying? That's all. Yeah, that's all you got to do. What's love? Don't let them play on words of love and all that. Go to the word. We follow the Bible. Love is keeping the commandments. All right. Love is keeping the commandments and being obedient to the commandments. So guess what? if a Edomite is a slave in my house, right, and he has a wife, am I gonna lay with his wife?
No.
No, I'm not gonna lay with his wife. Is the Edomite is a slave in my house? Because we see that example with Joseph. Did Joseph lay with Potiphar's wife?
No.
Did Joseph abstain the law with Potiphar's wife?
Did he abstain?
Did he keep the law? I'm sorry.
Yes,
in regards to Potiphar's wife.
Yes, he kept the law.
Yes, he did. He said, I can't. That's a great transgression.
Right.
Joseph told.
Yeah, that's sin.
He said that's sin. Even though Potiphar was a heathen, is it still sin to sleep with Potiphar's wife?
God, because that's adultery on his behalf.
Yes. When Abraham lied to the Pharaoh and the Pharaoh was like, you told me this was your sister.
Right.
You about to make me commit transgression.
Man. It's a great point.
You see what I'm saying? The law still stretches to them in that way. Yeah. Are we going to just randomly, the heathen in our cities, we just going to be like, I just feel like killing them today.
Right.
Let's go on, like the Edomites did us in captivity. Let's go on a joyride and start killing them. No, we ain't going to do that. Start hanging them and castrating them for no reason. No, we're not going to do that. That's a wicked, barbaric people. Remember, that's why I read to y'all in the book of Deuteronomy. It says that the heathen shall say, surely, or was it, I don't know if it was Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy 4, right?
Yeah, 4.
Surely this is a great and understanding people in the sight of the nations. The nations are going to say that. The nation's not going to say that if we just a mob of Israelites killing them in their land.
Right. And also, just to let me back off what you said earlier. You said we're not going to do to y'all what y'all did to us in slavery, because the Lord said they went too far. How'd they go too far? They're supposed to be able to respect our wives enough and respect our manhood enough and not do these things, because we wouldn't do them to them because it's within our law. Right. That's how they went too far.
Yes.
They raped our women. Those are our wives.
So we're going to do everything that the law tells us we can do towards them, and that's love.
Exactly.
Because God is love, and that's his word. And he said, I can have your people as slaves in my house. And let's get this real quick. Let's get Ruth. We see an early example of this with Ruth. Look at this. So don't get caught up in the wordplay and it's okay, Israel. It's okay.
They gonna be there with us, family.
They gonna be there.
Hey, the strangers shall water your flock. Remember that.
Be a good master, man. God is telling you be a great master. Some of y'all like that right now, man. Some of y'all got jobs and y'all love who y'all work for. Y'all boss is y'all best friend. He treats you nice.
Funny,
right? White man treats you nice and the whole nine. Where's that? Give me Ruth. Give me Ruth real quick. Salakia. Having a brain for it. And give me go to 1. Let me see what I want. And I'm gonna pull it up in a blue letter so y'all can actually read with me. All right, this will be the last one. We'll close out with Ruth. All right. And I'm gonna share my screen. We'll close out with Ruth. Yeah, we call those like a good example would be like Django. Remember Samuel L. Jackson's character?
Right.
He loved Django. I mean, he loved Samuel L. Jackson. I forgot his name in the movie.
DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio loved Samuel L. Jackson's character in the movie. He was like, man, who's that nigga on that nat? Right?
God.
So, you got a nigga on that nat. That's gonna be the same way. And DiCaprio loved him because he fed him when he was a kid. He watched him when he was a kid.
Right.
Y'all see those slave movies where they love the black woman more than their mom because she nursed them.
Right. They have a connection.
Y'all ever seen that movie? I forgot what slave movie it's called. I think it's 12 Years a Slave, where a white man sold the woman, the slave girl he grew up with. He started treating her bad or something. I forgot the movie, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying. All right.
I think that's the Nat Turner movie, wasn't it?
I think so. I think it was
the Nat Turner movie.
Yeah, but you see that in different slave movies where growing up, you know, the slave was connected to the slave woman. I mean, the people, the white people on the farm was connected with them, you know, so much so to where they grew bonds with them, but they still were slaves.
For sure.
A good example of that is Django. It doesn't make him equal with him just because DiCaprio was treating him a little better than the other slaves.
Still a slave.
He still was a slave. All right, let's read this in Ruth real quick. Go to Ruth chapter 1, verse 1.
Khan, the book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, and that there was a famine in the land.
Okay, let's get to the point. Read verse 6.
Khan, verse 6. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law that she might return from the country of Moab. For she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her two daughters-in-law with her, and they went out of the went out on the way to return unto the land of Judah.
Read.
And Naomi said unto her two daughters-in-law, Go, return each to her mother's house, and the Lord deal kindly with you, as he have dealt with the dead and with me.
So she like, y'all go back home. It's nothing more I need of y'all. Y'all go back home.
Khan.
Read.
And verse 9. The Lord grant you that ye may find rest, each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept.
She kissed the heathen. There's nothing wrong with that. But let me ask you, if Ruth was equal with her, she wouldn't tell her to go back with her people, would she?
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the chat. If Ruth was equal with her, why would she tell her to go back with her people? She would say, "No, you're an Israelite now. Come with me. You get the same promises in the covenant." No, because she's not equal. She's like, "Go back with your people. I don't have nothing else more for you." Gave her a kiss and told her to get out of here.
God.
You know what I mean? So just because you see the word love with the heat, that don't mean nothing, y'all. Don't get rattled with that. They're still not equal with us. Watch this. Read.
Verse 10. And they said unto her, Surely we will return with thee unto thy people. And Naomi said, Turn again, my daughters. Why will ye go with me?
She even called them her daughters. But she like, y'all still not my people though. Y'all not. Why are you trying to go with me? Read.
Are there yet any more sons in my womb?
So she basically like, man, go. It's kind of like, y'all ever had an animal and you was trying to release it back in the wild and it kept following you?
Yeah, God.
And you like, go, get out of here, shoot.
Right.
I can't take you home with me.
Right. The sad part in the movies.
Yeah, the sad, and then the animal still following you. Like, I still want to be with you. That's what it was. Now, let's read verse 14.
Verse 14. And they lifted up their voice and wept again. And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her.
Ruth just didn't want to leave.
And she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people and unto her God.
Why would Naomi, being a righteous woman, tell Ruth to go serve idols if she was in a commonwealth of Israel? She should have told her, you know what? Yeah, y'all the commonwealth of Israel. Yeah, y'all need to just come with me. Yeah. She was telling them to flee, go back. And you know she had love for him. She gave him kisses.
Right.
That don't mean nothing. The point is she not equal. That's the point. Right.
The love only goes so far.
The love only goes so far as the law. Read.
And she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people.
Read.
And unto gods and unto her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee or to return from following after thee. From whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God.
You see that? So Ruth, like, she would be one of those strangers that want to be among us. Now she's cleaving. Now it's interesting because I want to show y'all what Ruth actually said when she met. What's this? Dang, I hope I can find it. She actually admitted that she was a servant.
She's talking to Boaz?
Yeah, when she's talking to Boaz.
Conversation with Boaz starts at verse 4.
Verse 4, let's see. Oh, shoot. I hate when I do that.
He puts her to work in 7 and 8.
Yeah. Verse 4. Let's see. Let's see. 7. Let's see.
She bows down in verse 10.
Yeah, let me see. Verse 10. Rule 4 and 10. Let me see.
2 and 10.
Chapter 2 and 10.
Yeah. 2 and
Nah,
10, she bows down.
to Boaz? Nah, I want her a conversation with Boaz. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hopefully I can find. I don't want to take. Now look at this language. But I want the. Dang. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I can't find it. I cannot. Let's. Is it? Yes. Let me see. Is that 3 and 9? Yeah, that's the one I want. I was.
Con, shout out to Lyell. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, thank you. I was in verse 4, chapter 4. It's chapter 3. Yes. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Read verse 7. Start at verse 7.
The book of Ruth, chapter 3, verse 7. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down, and at the end of the heap of corn, she came softly and uncovered his feet and laid her down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thy handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thy handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman.
Read.
And he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning.
So we can go into the law with the handmaids, right? So, and then I want to follow up with this in verse 6, right? And read verse 4 and 10. Read that.
Con, the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 10. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance.
So notice what it says. It says purchased.
Right.
You know, what does it mean to purchase something?
To buy something, make it your possession.
But wait, look what it says. To get, acquire, create, buy, possess. Who can you buy?
The heathen.
The heathen. A primitive root, to erect, create, extension, to procure, right? Purchase down here, purchase, recover, redeem. Outline of biblical usages means to be bought, to buy, to cause, to possess. He bought this woman.
Right.
Look at what it says in the KJV translation count. Buy, get, purchase, buyer, possessor, possess, owner, recover, redeem. So he bought her. Right. Now, when you go into an Israelite woman, you got to go to the father and then do as the father bids, like we see with Jacob.
Leah and
Rachel, he had to work for X amount of years, so on and so forth. But this woman, he didn't have to do that. He just bought her. He just purchased her.
Showing you a clear difference.
You don't read this language. Even if it's a woman that is not a virgin, that maybe her husband died, you don't read this language nowhere dealing with an Israelite woman that you purchased her.
Right.
That you bought her. You don't. She just becomes your wife. If she's a widow, the law says if a woman's husband dies, she can marry again. It doesn't say that man has to purchase her.
No, it
doesn't say that man has to buy her. So why does it say he has to buy? He bought Ruth here.
Because she's a heathen, and that's the laws for the heathen.
And who did he purchase her from? Ruth.
Man.
Because Ruth was her owner. Had to be. That's her handmaid. The handmaid. She was a handmaid.
Right. She done to me.
There you go. Your handmaid is those of the heathen. If you go into the law of the handmaid, right? So he bought this woman. You only can buy the heathen, but that doesn't mean that they didn't look on her with favor.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Slaves.
Yeah, you take care of your slaves. Okay, take care of your slaves.
Because you got to understand, like,
He
these
bought
people
her.
are working for you. They're in your house. They're cooking. They're cleaning. You want to treat them correctly.
Yep.
They're around your kids. They're around the elderly. You want to be cool with them, but they know their place. That's the difference. They're not
Yes.
equal.
Yes.
We're not on the same level. You serve me.
And if you look up that word handmaid, a handmaid is the term for a female servant or slave. So that's what I wanted when she in that Ruth chapter 3. That word handmaid means to be slave, a slave. All right. Okay, and you can read that in so she was admitting that she was a slave. Ruth was admitting that she was a slave. Okay, she was admitting that she was a slave, but did that mean that Ruth didn't love her? I mean, Naomi didn't love her?
No, not at all. And she was weeping and crying. She had favor towards him.
Yeah, she had favor to her. Okay. All right. We'll end it there. I don't need no more. I was looking for that. No more. Did you want to say something? End it off?
Nah. This is a beautiful lesson, man. Very powerful, showing you the clear difference between a hired servant and a bondmaid and a bondservant.
Right.
A hired servant is of the children of Israel. The bondmaid and a bondservant are of the heathen.
Yeah.
A clear difference, family.
Yeah.
Rewatch this back, because guess what? The Christians are arming themselves up and they're trying to come for us. Hey, man, look. If the Lord is for us, nobody can be against us.
Right. And that also lets you know that Ruth is not an Israelite.
Come.
Because she can't be a handmaid.
She can't be bought.
She can't be bought, and she cannot be a handmaid. She cannot be a slave. So that lets you know that Ruth is not I know brothers try to argue that too, because we can see Ruth in the genealogy of Christ. That doesn't mean anything, though.
Right.
Your genealogy is by your father. It's okay. We got to stop trying to fight these battles in the way that we're trying to fight them. It's all right to have Ruth being a heathen that was favorable. It's okay. She was a handmaid. She was a servant. She was a slave. She was purchased.
And if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, she was used to bear children. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. She was a handmaid, and only by a technicality, because her husband happened to be needed to be seed raised up. So it was like a technicality, and she was the only one that, because they was in the land of Moab.
Right.
But the point is, Ruth was a handmaid, which is a servant, or which is a slave. All right. Where is that? Again, that was Ruth 3.
3 and 9.
But she was a slave, but she was also treated with favor.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So the whole don't abhor Edomite and all that, and all right. Let me just show y'all. Let me just show y'all real quick before we close. Look at this. This is Ruth. All right. This is Ruth chapter 3 verse 9. This is the word for handmaid. This is the translation in the KJV. Man's maid servant, handmaid, bondmaids, maid, bondwoman, which is a slave. Look at the outline of biblical usages: maid servant, female slave, maid, handmaid, concubine. All right.
Israelite women can be concubines.
Israelite women cannot be bondwomen or slaves. All right. This is how you know she's not an Israelite. Apparently, a primitive word, a maid servant or female slave, bondwoman, maid servant. She is a slave. That's why he was able to purchase her. You understand?
Great build, Doc.
All right. So it's okay. And Ruth was, she's a part of Christ's genealogy.
She served her purpose.
She served her purpose, but this still doesn't change the fact that she was a slave. So we see those examples. So don't get caught up with that Leviticus 19 and that Deuteronomy and gotta love the stranger. It's okay. We love the stranger when they are obedient to their position. That's it.
Most definitely.
Hey, love y'all, man. I hope this class was edifying. I hope y'all got some great edification. Until next time, if y'all want to get in contact with us, email us at believersoftheway144k@gmail.com. What can Oh yeah. The other yeah.
Con. And also, family, if you guys are in different states, different parts of California, we got San Francisco, we got brothers in Las Vegas, we got brothers in Dallas, we got brothers in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We out here, family. We spread more. Tap in with us. Also, once again, like my brother said, our email is right there. Thank y'all for your time. Thank you for the lesson. And yeah, man, all praise to the Most High God.
All praises. Email, and if you want to give any type of alms or donations, please do it after the Sabbath. Right now our Cash App is down. We only utilize Zelle right here. So our Zelle is believers of the way 144k at gmail.com. That is our Zelle. So if the Lord put us on your heart after the Sabbath, you know, feel free to donate. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps us pay the bills. I'm not a millionaire, so you know we're able to do these classes to edify our people. So if you do want to donate, hit our Zelle, which is our email. If you want to get in contact with us, hit our email. Love y'all, and we'll see y'all soon. Yolanda, if you want to, yeah, we'll see y'all back here tomorrow. If you want to get in contact with us, I'll give you guys my number. Just email us. Without further ado, love y'all, and shalom, family.
Shalom, family. Shalom.